Hello, good morning. It is still morning, isn't it? It's Arsenal Matchday live over and over and over again. My name is Richard, and this is Chelsea versus Arsenal, of course, from Stamford Bridge. It is going to be a very, very important game, isn't it? For Arsenal, a win would obviously send us back to the top of the Premier League, but Chelsea are looking to regain some ground to get back towards the top four, aren't they? So it's going to be a big game, all coming up the other side of this. Real Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it. So, Chelsea versus Arsenal. This is going to be a really, really important game, isn't it, for Arsenal? It's another game for Arsenal to put a statement down, isn't it, and say, yes, we are serious contenders this season. And the way to do that is to produce a performance here at a ground like Stamford Bridge and hopefully get 3 points. Now, we've got the team news for you. Obviously, of course, very, very important. And this is our Arsenal lineup. There's just one change to the recent Premier League teams, which we'll come to. So, Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Ben White, right back, William Saliba and Gabriel, and it is the left back. Alexander Zinchenko does come back in. He's been injured, of course, missed the last few games, but he's back at left back in place of Kieran Tierney, of course, who played in midweek. And also, of course, Tomiyasu, who's injured at the moment. In midfield, as expected, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka and Martin Odegaard. And then at the front three is the normal front three that we get every single game. Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. All three of those have scored 5 goals each this season. On the bench then for Arsenal, Matt Turner, Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Cedric Suarez, Mohamed Elneny, Fabio Vieira, Sambi Lokonga, Reece Nelson, of course, those 2 goals last weekend against Nottingham Forest from the bench, and Eddie Nketiah. And for Chelsea, this is how they line up. It's Edouard Mendy in goal. Obviously, the Azpilicueta is injured, of course. They've got a back three, Trevor Chalobah, Thiago Silva and Marc Cucurella. The 4 across midfield is Cesar Azpilicueta, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho and Mason Mount. And then the front three, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling. And through the middle, of course, someone who we know very, very well, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, does start for Chelsea. Just 1 goal in the Premier League for him this season. On the bench then for Chelsea, it's Marcus Bettinelli, the goalkeeper, Lewis Hall, Khalido Koulibaly, Matteo Kovacic, Hakim Ziyech, Conor Gallagher, Dennis Zakaria, Christian Pulisic and Mondo Broja. So they are your teams for this game. And are Arsenal going to be able to produce the win and a performance really that will be that statement? Away from home, we've not been great, have we, lately? There's no doubt about that. We've, we struggled to win at Leeds, not a great performance. Even before that, in Bodo Glimt, PSV, Southampton, not been great away from home, have we, in recent games? So this is going to be a big test at home. We know how good we are. We're winning every single game at the Emirates, but away from home, we've just been struggling recently, haven't we? So we need to put in a strong performance. We have, of course, won here the last 2 seasons in the Premier League, 4-2 last April, of course, and then in May the season before we won 1-0, didn't we? Smith Rowe scored in both those games, but of course he's still out injured. But on the injury front, things looking pretty positive, aren't they? With Zinchenko back as well, he's been a big loss, hasn't he? So it'd be good to have him back in the team. Is he going to be fit enough to last a full 90 minutes? We're not sure. We will have to see. But it's interesting that he's back in the team, and let's hope he can produce a good performance because that's what we want to see. Russ is in the chat. He says, of course, evening is a good one today, isn't it? Because it's Unai Emery's first game back in the Premier League today. Aston Villa play Manchester United, of course, later. His return to the Premier League following the rather acrimonious ending, if you like, from his time at Arsenal. Back in the day, of course, and today as well marks. It's weird, isn't it? Unai Emery's back for his first game back in the Premier League, and it's Mikel Arteta's 150th match in charge of Arsenal. So interesting to speculate what may have happened in those 150 games if Unai Emery had been given a little bit more time and been given the time and investment that Arteta's had. Where would we be right at this moment in time? Difficult to say, but right now we're top of the league. We've won the Europa League group just. and things are going really well. But yeah, it would be interesting to know what might have happened if that had been the case. But obviously, it isn't. We are where we are, and things are going well, and let's hope it can continue. And today is going to be a big kind of marker, isn't it, to show exactly where we are, and you know where we kind of are looking to go. I still think that a lot of our big tests this season are still to come, aren't they? This being one of them, of course. You know, we haven't played Manchester City at all yet. We haven't played Newcastle at all. We haven't played Chelsea at all. We haven't played Brighton at all. They're a bogey team for us. You know, we still haven't played Liverpool away, Tottenham away. All these difficult games where in previous seasons we've come up short. And we haven't played any of those games yet. So, you know, we've still got bigger tests to come than we've had so far. But you can only beat what's in front of you. And so far, we've won, 10 out of the 12 league games. So we have to be happy with that. But this is a big test for us, one of the biggest tests of the season so far. Probably our biggest test away from home since Manchester United. And although we did play well that day, as we know, we didn't get the result, did we? And maybe that's something that we can put right today. Let's hope so. That, you know, I'd rather, I suppose, ultimately, you'd rather not play as well and get the win than play well and lose as we did at Manchester United, I suppose. But I think the performance is important as well. It's to show that we can go to places like this and we can compete with the so-called bigger teams away from home, because we haven't done that consistently enough for a number of years, have we? And there's no doubt about that. So this is an opportunity for us to do it. Our second big test away from home this season in the Premier League following the Man United game. And we need to get a result, because if we lose this game as well, then people are going to say, aren't they, well, the two big games away from home we've lost. So I think it's important that we get something today. I've got a feeling it might be a draw. I've got to be honest. Chelsea don't often lose at Stamford Bridge, and last week's defeat at Brighton would have really, really hurt them, and the first defeat under Graham Potter as well. So they don't losing too many games since he's come in. I still think he's learning a little bit about his team, isn't he? Learning who the best players for the positions. And, you know, it's probably a similar thing to when Mikel Arteta first came to Arsenal. He made quite a lot of changes to the team, to the formation. Results were a little bit up and down while he was kind of learning about the players. And I do think it's going to be the same with Graham Potter. So maybe it's a good time to be playing Chelsea before they've really settled and before he's really realised what his best team is and his best formation. But he's playing that sort of 3-4-3 formation today, which they've been playing before. Obviously, it's a few different personnel changes slightly. Obviously, Azpilicueta's in today, Mason Mount's in today, Jorginho's in today as well, actually. But they're still playing that same back three, Chalobah, Silva and Cucurella. I think Silva can be got at. He makes a lot of mistakes, Thiago Silva. And I think if we can get at him, then there's every chance that we can create some problems for Chelsea. But let's see what happens. The teams are now in the tunnel here at Stamford Bridge. Obviously, Chelsea in their all-blue strip as usual, and Arsenal in their home kit today, red shirts, white sleeves and white shorts, of course. Mendy, the Chelsea goalkeeper's all in orange, and it looks like Aaron Ramsdale's going to be all in yellow. The referee today is Michael Oliver. Hopefully we won't have too many issues to worry about. Both captains, which is, of course, Cesar Azpilicueta and Martin Odegaard, are carrying wreaths of poppies as well. Of course, the home game for Chelsea, that aligns with, obviously, Remembrance next week. So we are just about to be getting going in this big game, actually, today at Stamford Bridge. It is going to be a very, very interesting 90 minutes here. Don't forget, this is the first of two watch-alongs today. We are back after this game with the Arsenal women playing away at Leicester as well. So it's a big day for Arsenal. We are looking forward to the football, and the teams are just coming out now into Stamford. It looks like the rain stopped. It was been raining most of the day in London this morning, but it seems to have stopped now. And the teams are coming out on to the pitch, and we are getting ready for the kickoff here. Arsenal players are wearing their new kind of black tracksuit tops, or are they dark blue? I don't know, I think they are black. Do look quite smart, but it's yet another bit of merch that they're bringing out, isn't it, this season already? So I say for Arsenal, it's just that one change to the Premier League side, or regular Premier League side that's been playing. That's Alexander Zinchenko is back in at left back following his injury. He's not played, has he, for a long, long time. Be good to get him back in the team. We know what difference he makes. But of course, the big story today, you can't help but talk about it, is of course Aubameyang starts for Chelsea. He's been in and out of the side. He didn't start the game at Brighton last week. He did start the Champions League game in midweek, got an assist in that game as Chelsea won at 2-1. So he's got 2 goals, I think, or 2 or 3 goals, isn't it, in total? Only one in the Premier League for Chelsea, though. So it's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see how that works out for him today. I know Arsenal, historically, we've had issues with former players coming back to play against us, normally scoring against us. A player who has got a good scoring record against Arsenal, Raheem Sterling, is also playing in that front three for Chelsea today. So that's going to be another player to watch for us. He's scored a lot of goals previously against us for Liverpool and for Manchester City, of course. Can he score against us for a third different team in the Premier League? Let's hope not. But we'll see what happens. It is going to be a very, very tough game for Arsenal today. We know that. But we couldn't come into it in better shape, could we? We're in second place in the table currently with a game in hand on Man City. A win would take us back to the top. So we know what's at stake. And of course, there's only one more Premier League game after this before the World Cup. So if we can win today, win next week away at Wolves, then we will go into that World Cup break top of the league, which would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Of course, there's going to be a lot of work to do after that, as we know, but that would be great, wouldn't it? But two tough away games coming up in the Premier League, this one and Wolves next week. I know Wolves are struggling at the moment, but again, that's not an easy place to go, is it? So this is going to be the first of two big tests we've got before the World Cup. Of course, there is the Brighton Carabao Cup game as well in midweek on Wednesday, which I'm sure we'll see a lot more changes for that one. I know personally I wouldn't make too many. It's a game that I think we can we should try to get through, because we've only got two games left before the World Cup break. So let's play the team and that's it really. But anyway, the players are now just about to get going. Obviously, all the focus is going to be on Aubameyang today. We know that. I'm sure he is feeling quite anxious and nervous about this game because, you do, don't you, when you're playing against your former club, especially in the way that things have gone. The way he left Arsenal, of course, wasn't great, was it, for him? Wasn't great for the club. I don't think anybody really came out of that with too much credit, really, did they? But it's over and done with now. He's now a Chelsea player. And he'll be keen, I'm sure, to make a point today to the manager, won't he? That maybe a few mistakes were made on both sides, really, with all that incident. But anyway, let's see what happens in this game. I think we're doing a minute's silence, which I believe will be for, obviously, Remembrance Day, although it is not until next week. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing before this game. Obviously, it's Chelsea's last home game before the World Cup as well, isn't it? So going to be interesting. This game is going to be. Anyway, we are just doing this sort of silence now. And that is that. They're the last protocols played by one of the armed forces. So we are going to get underway here at Stamford Bridge now. It looks as though Arsenal are going to be attacking the goal to our right in the first half, which is that's the Matthew Harding stand, isn't it? I think. So it is going to be a very, very interesting 90 minutes. This, I'm sure. We're going to be seeing exactly how this Arsenal team can produce a performance away from home at a big side, because Chelsea might not be in the top four at this moment in time. They've had a bit of an up and down season. They've changed manager, of course, but this is a sort of game away from home where, if you're serious to be taken seriously as as even top 4 contenders, let alone title contenders, you have to put in a performance and get a result here. We are about to kick off. Chelsea in all blue, well, all blue with white socks, of course, will be kicking off. So they're attacking a goal to our left in this first half. The end to the left is where the Arsenal fans are today, behind that goal. We are just about to get off and underway here. Michael Oliver, I say, is the referee. Let's hope there's no refereeing shenanigans today and that we can just enjoy a game of football without too much controversy. And we are off and up and underway here at Stamford Bridge. The ball is now back with Thiago Silva. Plays it long up that far side, but it's an Arsenal head that gets there. Granit Xhaka it was. And now Gabriel Jesus tries to knock it out to the far side to Gabriel Martinelli, gets it back, plays it back up that far side to Gabriel Martinelli. He's got past Trevor Chalobah, but he's actually sort of been held up now, but can he get a cross in? Plays it low in towards the penalty area. It's cut out there by Jorginho, but it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Good start actually from Arsenal, straight away on the front foot. Gabriel Martinelli getting clear down that left-hand side. Couldn't quite get a good cross in. He pulled it back towards the edge of the box, and Jorginho just put it out for a throw over on that far side. Thomas Partey's drying the ball with a towel, so he's going to throw it long in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. This has been a tactic we've been doing lately, haven't we? Last few games with Thomas Partey's long throws. Obviously been working on these in training. Let's see how this goes. It goes in towards that near post. It's flicked on by Gabriel, but it goes behind into the side net, and it's going to be a goal kick to Chelsea. We've played a minute at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. Can Arsenal get a big statement victory here today, which would be a real opportunity, won't it, for not only to go back to the top of the table with a win, but just to really show that we are here to stay this season, and that, you know, we should be starting to be taken seriously. But that's a free kick there conceded by Ben White on Mason Mount. The two having a bit of a laugh together there. Of course, 2 England teammates, Ben White and Mason Mount, of course. So they may well both be going to the World Cup next week. Terry says, "Good afternoon, Richard. Out at the moment, so you are my eyes and ears, but should be back hopefully about half time." Oh, good, mate. Okay, good to see you. I hope you're well. Here's a free kick to Chelsea on this near side. Thiago Silva takes it long in deep into the Arsenal half, looking for Aubameyang, but William Saliba wins that header. Raheem Sterling plays that ball over that far side to Kai Havertz. But now Chelsea have been forced back again. Travis Chalobah now plays it square to Thiago Silva again. Again, he tries to play a long ball through the lines, but it's well cut out there by Gabriel. And Arsenal now playing the ball forward. Martin Odegaard plays it to Bukayo Saka. He's fit again, of course, down this near side. Arsenal's right, cuts inside, tries to cross it. It hits Jorginho and comes back to Bukayo Saka. He plays it back into the Arsenal half. William Saliba plays it into the centre circle to Zinchenko. He likes to drop into that central position, doesn't he, when we've got possession of the ball. He's got the ball again now as Zinchenko. Good to see him back fit again. He missed quite a lot of games, didn't he, with that injury. But it is good to see him back. Let's see what difference he makes. Because I say away from home, we've not played brilliantly lately. But anyway, Zinchenko's on the ball again, coming forward in a central position, finds Martin Odegaard on his near side, plays it on to Bukayo Saka. This is good from Arsenal. Bukayo Saka goes past Cucurella, does he? He doesn't, because Cucurella pushes him over. And I think it is a free kick. Cucurella saying it was a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. He did put his arm across him, though. And I think that definitely was a foul. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, just outside the penalty area on that far side, on this near side, sorry. And it is a free kick there. It was a foul by Cucurella. He didn't seem very happy about the decision, but I don't think you're going to have too many complaints. And it is going to be this opportunity for Arsenal now. It's about 5 yards outside the penalty on this near side, Arsenal's right. It's not in a shooting position necessarily. Well, I mean, Bukayo Saka with his left foot could maybe whip a shot in from there. Or does he play it in towards the edge of that 6-yard box? Plenty of Arsenal bodies in that penalty area. Bukayo Saka with this free kick. Takes 4 steps back. Gets ready. Is he going to hit this actually? There's an angle there. He could maybe get it on target. Instead, he plays it square across the box. Oh, it's wasted actually. Cucurella intercepts that. Gets it clear for Chelsea. And he actually wins a free kick for Chelsea as well. That was a waste of a free kick, that actually. Arsenal trying to be too clever there. Saka tried to play it square to Martinelli. Cucurella read that and got it clear, and it was then fouled by Martinelli. But yeah, silly free kick that, really. We want to try and get the ball in the box or have a shot at goal, and we did neither. And now Chelsea have got a free kick, and we've wasted a good opportunity, a good early opportunity. We played 4 minutes at Stamford Bridge. It is still Chelsea 0 Arsenal. A long ball forward now. Aubameyang's first touch on this near side, faced by William Saliba. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang plays it back to Cucurella. Cucurella plays it back again to Thiago Silva, plays it in, it's flicked on. It's going to come over that far side. No, it's not, because Zinchenko's across there well. Aubameyang was making that run in behind, but Zinchenko read that flick from Mason Mount. And Arsenal back in possession again. Thomas Partey not had the ball much in this early stage. That's a good ball though to Martin Ødegaard. He plays it on to Granit Xhaka, plays it out to that far side, looking for the run of Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli running at that Chelsea defence, plays it into the box to Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka tried to give it back to him, but it was well covered there by Cesar Azpilicueta. He's going to be a corner though to Arsenal over on that far side. A good start from Arsenal. It's all the most of this game in these opening 5 minutes have been played in that Chelsea half. But Arsenal do tend to start games quickly and then kind of run out of steam and ideas later on. But let's see what happens here. It's a corner though to Arsenal over on that far side, which Gabriel Martinelli is going to take in front of those Chelsea fans behind the goal. Calls it in towards the near post. It's headed away. It wasn't a great corner actually. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. It was Havertz who headed that away. The throw's taken quickly. It's going to be another corner to Arsenal. Is that a throw? I think it might well be another. It is a throw to Arsenal. Just in from that corner flag. Again, Thomas Partey is going to come across to take this. Another long throw potentially from him. He's looking for a towel to wipe the ball. And he's found there's a red towel over on that far side. Pre-planned, obviously, the towels. Anyway, it's going to be a throw here. It looks like it's going to come in towards the near post again. The last one, Gabriel flicks into the side netting. Is this going to be better for Arsenal? Thomas Partey with this throw towards that near post. It's headed away this time by Chelsea, who managed to complete the clearance. Now, Raheem Sterling over on that far side tries to get past Zinchenko, but he's not able to. And now Thomas Partey can come forward again for Arsenal, but there's a foul there by Kai Havertz on Granit Xhaka. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. We've played 6.5 minutes. It was a free kick there. Havertz in the back there of Granit Xhaka. So Arsenal got a free kick over on that far side, about 25 yards outside the penalty area. It looks like it's going to be Martin Ødegaard to take this set piece. Are we going to put this one in the box? We didn't last time and it was wasted, really. Let's see if we can create an opportunity here from this set piece over on that far side. It is Martin Ødegaard with the free kick. Whips it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Trevor Chalobah. Comes out as far as Ben White, lashes a shot high over the bar and into the fans behind that goal. But that was better. At least we put the ball into the box there. But it was a good defensive header from Trevor Chalobah. But it did fall to Ben White about, 25 yards out. Lashed the first time shot high over the crossbar. And that's the first real effort at goal, isn't it, from either side so far in this game. We've played 7.5 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Still Chelsea nil, Arsenal nil, of course. And we are looking for the breakthrough. It's been a good start from Arsenal. I say the ball's mainly been in the Chelsea half of this game so far in these early stages, which is good to see. Chelsea haven't really got going yet. That's a goal kick there taken by Mendy over on that far side. It's flicked on by Havertz, but then Thomas Partey wins the second ball, but it only falls to Jorginho. Plays it back to Thiago Silva, out to Trevor Chalobah on that far side for Chelsea. First game last week, wasn't it, for Trevor Chalobah? He played at Chelsea, have lost in. His run finally ended. Of course, a disappointing game for Graham Potter on his return to his old club. But anyway, Chelsea coming forward now. This is their first real opportunity. Shot there goes across the face of the goal. It was Kai Havertz there with the effort over on that far side. Looked as though it might have been a better opportunity to have perhaps played it across the goal, but instead he went for goal. It was a good run, actually. Good play from Sterling over on that far side. Played the ball inside at Zinchenko. Aubameyang made a good run, actually, to the edge of the 6-yard box. If Kai Havertz had pulled it back to him there, could have been the opportunity for Chelsea. Instead, I don't know if that was a shot or a cross. Anyway, it went all the way across the goal, and it was a bit of a wasted opportunity for Chelsea, actually. But it was good play from them. That's their first real attack. Terry says there, apparently the last 6 Arsenal players to score against Chelsea have all been English. That may well be the case, actually, yeah. Because obviously the 4 goals last season were all English players, wasn't they? 2 for Eddie, 1 for Smith Rowe and 1 for Saka. Obviously last season's game at home we didn't score. Smith Rowe scored at Stamford Bridge the season before. Then when we beat them 3-1. No, because Granit Xhaka scored, didn't he? A free kick in that game. I think Saka scored. Did Smith Rowe score? So that's 4, 5. Oh yeah, probably it's 5. Maybe the last 5 goals, perhaps. Anyway, there are obviously the last few have definitely been English players, haven't they? There's a couple of English players on the pitch today, so maybe we might see that run extended. We'll see. Martinelli now over on that far side, faced with Trevor Chalobah. Those two have had a couple of battles already, haven't they? But Martinelli then plays the ball inside. That's a good ball inside, actually. This is good play from Arsenal. Ball across the box from Jesus. Finds Ben White. Is he going to score? Ben White drags a shot across the goal. 2 efforts from Ben White, looking to increase that run of English goal scorers for Arsenal against Chelsea, but he dragged that shot wide. Good play, actually, from Martinelli. Held the ball up. Gabriel Jesus gave him some support. Jesus played the ball back to the edge of the penalty area where Ben White had a little bit of time, took a good touch, and then fired it across goalkeeper Mendy, but also wide of that far post. He's got forward well a couple of times, Ben White. He didn't maybe catch that shot as well as he would have liked, looking for that far corner, but it just bounced wide of that post. It remains Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0, but Arsenal have been the better team in these opening 10 minutes is what we've played here. But so far, no goals. Goal kick there from Mendy, but Arsenal deal with that again. William Saliba with that header forward. Chalobah's in for Chelsea, though, against Jesus. He does well, the Chelsea defender. Now it's Cesar Azpilicueta plays it up that far side, looking for the run of Guy Havertz. It wasn't a good clearance, actually, by Zinchenko. It doesn't help. Gabriel fell in front of him. Raheem Sterling over on that far side. Those in possession now for Chelsea. Plays it back to Ruben Loftus-Cheek into Jorginho. Loftus-Cheek again to Sterling. Chelsea now looking a little bit more threatening. Sterling over on that far side. Plays it back to Loftus-Cheek. A cross comes in. Diving header away from Saliba. Comes to Cucurella on the edge of the box. Plays it back in the box again. That one's headed away by Gabriel. Still it's with Chelsea. Sterling over on that far side. Putting it across Ben White's there with a header. Arsenal was struggling to get this ball away. It falls to Aubameyang inside the box. He heads it back in towards the penalty spot, and then Granit Xhaka heads it back into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale. But that was a little bit of pinball there inside the Arsenal penalty area. Arsenal couldn't get the ball away. Aubameyang headed it back across the penalty area, but Granit Xhaka was there to comfortably head it back into the arms of his goalkeeper. Nice and calm play there from Granit Xhaka. Terry says there, to be honest, I don't care who scores as long as we win. Exactly, yeah. I don't really care who scores either, but yeah, there has been a good few goals scored by English players against Chelsea recently, which is good to see. But anyway, any goal will do. Ben White's just given the ball away actually inside the centre circle to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Chelsea are now trying to come forward themselves. Cucurella on this near side. The ball goes back again to Thiago Silva. He's got a mistake in him, hasn't he? The veteran Brazilian. Let's hope that we can capitalise on that. But again, Chelsea have given the ball away this time in midfield. It's got a little bit scrappy to play in the last couple of minutes actually. Ben White now plays it all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale. Yeah, some loose passes there from both teams in midfield. But Arsenal now do have the ball again with Gabriel over on that far side, just in front of the Arsenal penalty area. Plays it square to William Saliba. Plays it back again to Gabriel. Arsenal now coming forward over on that far side. Ball played out to Gabriel Martinelli. Azpilicueta does well. Forces him back, but we keep possession. Gabriel now gets it back to Gabriel Martinelli. Plays up the line to Granit Xhaka, and now it's back with Gabriel Martinelli again. Just slowing the pace down. Plays it up to Martinelli, flicks it on to Granit Xhaka, and a 1-2. Granit Xhaka is going to keep this in over on the far side. He does well. Granit Xhaka, 4 goals this season. If he scores today, he'll actually be a joint top scorer with 5, which you would have thought that. Gabriel Jesus with that cross from the far side. It's a mistake there. Falls to Ben White again inside the penalty. Does it? No, the referee has given a free kick actually. Cucurella again was involved there. He was a very good player for Chelsea, wasn't he, Cucurella? He was certainly a player that I wouldn't have minded Arsenal signing. It was Bukayo Saka with a foul on him there, though. And it is going to be a free kick to Chelsea just outside their own penalty area, which Thiago Silva is going to take for Chelsea. 13.5 minutes played. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. Not really too many chances at goal yet. Ben White with the best one for Arsenal. Dragged the shot wide of that post. And Aubameyang hasn't really been in the game as yet. He's only had a couple of touches of the ball really so far. Cucurella now on this near side for Chelsea. Plays the ball up the line. But it's a hopeless ball really. And William Saliba comes across. Aubameyang wasn't happy with that service to him there. And Arsenal back in possession with Gabriel. Just outside the Arsenal penalty area, bringing the ball forward. He's not really being pressed at all. Raheem Sterling decides to press him now. He goes back to Aaron Ramsdale. Again, Arsenal just taking their time, keeping the ball. But Chelsea aren't really pressing us at all, actually. We've got plenty of time to knock the ball around at the back. William Saliba finds Ben White on his near side. Ben White then goes back to Ramsdale inside the penalty area. Now it's out with Gabriel, and he goes long up this far side, but it's too long. It's going to run all the way through to Edouard Mendy in the Chelsea goal. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. Played nearly 15 minutes. It's been Arsenal been the better team so far, really, but there's been very, very few opportunities to score. Chelsea have been sitting back a little bit. We've been on the front foot, but unable to really pull that Chelsea defence apart too much. Thiago Silva there inside the penalty area, plays it to Cucurella on his near side. It's a good ball inside, but that's not a great ball forward actually from Mason Mount, and Arsenal pick possession up Ben White. Now it's with Saka, plays it in to Jesus. Does well actually, gets around 2 challenges. In fact, he's fouled there by Cucurella. Cucurella's been involved in quite a lot of stuff in his opening 15 minutes, hasn't he, the Spaniard? And he's just fouled Gabriel Jesus there, who's gone down. He did just turn away from him there, and it was a foul. There's no doubt about that. He tried to turn back inside, and he's just caught his standing leg there, Cucurella, and Jesus has gone down. I don't think he's particularly badly injured. In fact, he's back up again now. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, which Bukayo Saka is going to take on this near side. It's about, 20 yards in from that touchline. Sort of in line with the edge of the penalty, but it's miles away from the goal. Not really an opportunity to shoot this time, but an opportunity to get that ball into the box. Bukayo Saka whips it in this time towards that far post. It's a good ball. Headed back across the goal. Is it by William Saliba? In fact, it isn't. It's just gone straight behind. Kai Havertz was back there doing his defensive duties for Chelsea, but Saliba looked as though he was going to have an opportunity there to head it back across the goal. In fact, it came off Kai Havertz, then it hit William Saliba's arm, actually. He's gone behind for a goal kick to Chelsea. Again, we didn't really make the most of that free kick opportunity there. At least that time, we did put the ball in the box. And if Saliba could have headed that back across the 6-yard box, who knows what may have happened, but he wasn't quite able to. Good defensive play that was from Havertz. But it's a goal kick to Chelsea, which Mendy is going to take. Edouard Mendy back in the team, of course, following the injury to Kepa Azaribalaga last week. Of course, he had to go off at Brighton, didn't he, in that game where Chelsea were well beaten. But Ben White now coming forward for Arsenal. He's got forward a lot in his opening 17 minutes. Plays the ball out to that far side. That's a good ball to Gabriel Martinelli. Just on the edge of the penalty. Takes a shot, but it's over the top. Just cut back inside. Got the ball on his right foot and hit a shot. And just over the top of the crossbar there. A little bit of space for him, but he couldn't keep the shot down. But it has been all Arsenal really so far in the opening 17 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. So Chelsea haven't really caused us too many anxious moments. There was just that one chance from Kai Havertz there where he didn't make the most of it for Chelsea. That's just been put out there by Mendy. It is going to be a throw to Arsenal over on the far side. Chelsea can't really get out of their half actually at this moment. And that's been the case pretty much from the start. But so far, chances have been at a premium in this game. Zinchenko went to throw that ball and it slips out of his hands, a wet ball. It is going to be a throw to Chelsea. It just slips out of his hands. He was about to throw that actually. It's unusual to see that. And it is going to be a throw to Chelsea instead. And maybe he needed Thomas Partey's towel maybe to wipe the ball before he took that throw. Anyway, Chelsea have got a throw now, which Azpilicueta is going to take over on that far side. That goes long up the line. But Arsenal do pick the ball up, but not for long as Ruben Loftus-Cheek wins that header, but it's flicked across here to Ben White. A little bit of space for him on this near side. Aubameyang is closing him down. So he goes back to William Saliba and then back again to Gabriel. Be interesting to see what Aubameyang does if he was to score in this game. But anyway, let's not worry too much about that. Zinchenko now on that far side for Arsenal. The Ukrainian back fit again. Good to see him in the team. Plays the ball out to that far side to Gabriel Jesus. Puts a cross in towards the edge of the penalty. It's headed away by Mason Mount. But Arsenal pick up possession again. Ben White finds Bukayo Saka on this near side. Bukayo Saka does well. Plays it back inside to Thomas Partey. We've got a comment there from Blessed Mapatesi. Arsenal women's stream later. Yep, indeed there will be. Straight after this game, we'll shut this stream down and the other stream will start for the Arsenal women about hopefully sort of 10 to 2. We'll be able to go live with that one depending on the full time in this game. But yeah, we'll definitely be covering that game later. So please join us for that as well. Chelsea now, though, trying to get a break forward, but Gabriel Jesus won the ball back off Ruben Loftus-Cheek into the air. This will be a great goal from Jesus. Oh, the shot's blocked. Not sure who that was that blocked it there, but that was a mistake at the back from Chelsea. But now suddenly they've got a counter-attack with Raheem Sterling. There's a little bit of space here on this near side for Kai Havertz, just inside the Arsenal penalty area. This has been a bit of end-to-end stuff in this game. Now plays it square across the box to Mason Mount. His shot's blocked. And from one end, an opportunity at one end when Jesus' shot was blocked to a shot at the other end, which was also blocked. And now Arsenal won a free kick. That was a little bit of excitement there at both ends of the pitch. It was a mistake from Loftus-Cheek. Gabriel Jesus won the ball off him. It was a great run from Jesus, helped by Chalobah's slip, but a great block actually from Thiago Silva. Really good defending from him, actually. That was probably going on target, but brilliant defending from Silva to block that shot. The two Brazilians there know each other very well, of course. But Arsenal's free kick was taken quickly. Zinchenko now in possession. Bringing the ball forward for Arsenal. Pings it out to that far side to Gabriel Martinelli right on that far touchline. But he almost loses the ball, actually, under pressure from Azpilicueta and then Raheem Sterling. But it has gone out for a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. That was a great block from Silva, actually. And at the other end, there was a block from, I think it may well have been William Saliba, a shot from the edge of the box from Jorginho for Chelsea on a quick counter-attack. Chelsea coming forward again now, but not for long. Thomas Partey's in, plays the ball up to this near side to Bukayo Saka. Got a little bit of space now, Saka, just inside the Chelsea half on this near side. He's got Ben White ahead of him. He finds Ben White. Actually, doesn't find Ben White. That's a poor ball. It's gone out for a throw to Chelsea on the near side, which Marc Cucurella is going to take. So, yeah, we are covering the Arsenal women later on after this game. That is a 2 o'clock kickoff, of course, at Leicester King Power Stadium. Arsenal need to win that game, of course. And it's a big game as well coming up. We'll be covering that game as well straight after this one on a separate stream. So please join us for that if you can. Chelsea now win the ball back in midfield. The ball played up this near side to Kai Havertz again. He's starting to get into the game, the German, isn't he? He's faced by William Saliba. He slips over actually there. Havertz, and William Saliba was able to get the ball back off him. But he's starting to get more into the game, Havertz. He didn't have a lot of possession early on, but Chelsea just won the ball back there today with Mason Mount. In fact, the referee's given a free kick to Arsenal, Michael Oliver, just as Ben White went past him there. A little bit of a soft free kick, actually. But anyway, he did kind of push him a little bit, but it was a bit of a soft free kick. Really, Aaron Ramsdale's going to take this just in front of those Arsenal fans over on that side away to our left. Ramsdale goes long, deep towards the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. It's flicked on by Jesus, trying to win the ball back again. Martin Odegaard's going to pick this up for Arsenal. Now it's with Ben White on this near side. Well, he takes too long, and Kai Havertz has taken the ball off him. And then it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Very tight it was over on this near touchline. So we've played we're pretty much halfway through this first half now. Not really any chances yet for either side. It is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0, but Arsenal certainly been the better team. Now this is Bukayo Saka. The ball just got stuck under his feet, and Chelsea can clear it away. Raheem Sterling, very central now for Chelsea, runs into a little bit of trouble there and wins a free kick off Martin Odegaard. And it's going to be Thiago Silva again with his set piece for Chelsea. 23 minutes played at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. It's been a very difficult game for Chelsea so far, because Arsenal have playing pretty well, but chances have been few and far between. That free kick there's headed out by Zinchenko, but Chelsea do pick the ball up over on that far side again with Kai Havertz. Seems to be floating on either wing at the moment. Good movement from him anyway. Thiago Silva now in possession for Chelsea, just inside Chelsea's half, plays it forward to Aubameyang, lays it off to Jorginho, and now it's Thiago Silva again bringing the ball forward for Chelsea. That's a good ball up this near side, looking for Marc Cucurella, but Ben White's across. It's going to be a throw to Chelsea though on this near side, which Cucurella is going to take. He's always played well against Arsenal when he was at Brighton, didn't he, Cucurella? And he's certainly been involved in a lot of the game so far, both good and bad for Chelsea. He's done some good things, and he's conceded a couple of silly free kicks and caught out a couple of times. But he's going to take this throw now. Finds Kai Havertz, gets it back again. Cucurella looking to try and get across him, but he's not able to. In fact, Martin Odegaard wins the ball, and now Gabriel Jesus and Cucurella wins the ball back. The referee says play on. Jesus felt he was fouled. Thiago Silva now in possession, pings it up this near side again. The two Kai Havertz plays the ball back to Cucurella, gets it back again. Havertz plays it inside to Mason Mount, and then Mason Mount's fouled by William Saliba. And he's going to be a free kick to Chelsea over on that far touchline. He let the first tackle go. I mean, that one there was a foul actually by Saliba when you see the replay. He didn't get the ball at all, and that was a free kick. And it is a free kick. Chelsea in a pretty dangerous position actually. It's just on this near side, in line with the edge of the penalty area, but it's midway between the sort of penalty area and the far touch. In fact, it's only about 10 yards in from the touchline. But it's an opportunity for Chelsea to whip this ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. Potentially, it's Mason Mount and Cucurella over it. Cucurella with the set piece delivery. It's headed out, not very far. Comes to the far post. Chalobah puts it back in again. Not a great cross actually, and Granit Xhaka can head that away. But Chelsea do pick up possession again. It comes to Cucurella on this near side. Again, he puts the ball back into the box looking for Aubameyang. It's headed out though by Gabriel, but Chelsea pick it up again with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Chelsea now starting to put a little bit of pressure on the Arsenal defence for the first time. We've played 25 and a half minutes. It is still a Chelsea nil, Arsenal nil. Very, very few goal scoring opportunities in this game so far. Very cagey, very tight. But this is the first spell of possession that Chelsea have really enjoyed so far in this game. Thiago Silva in possession now finds Mason Mount. He's held up by Bukayo Saka. The ball goes back in the end to goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. The Senegal international plays it up that far side to Trevor Chalobah under pressure from Granit Xhaka. Plays it back to Azpilicueta into Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Chelsea just enjoying their best spell of possession in this game actually in the last couple of minutes or so. The ball's now back with Mendy again. Oh, he tries to take a risk there under pressure from Gabriel Martinelli. Just about gets away with it. But Arsenal can pick the possession up now with William Saliba. Suddenly Chelsea are pressing us more up higher up the pitch. Mason Mount is trying to put Aaron Ramsdale under pressure. Plays it in to William Saliba. Flicks it round the corner to Ben White on this near side. Arsenal get themselves out of that press. And Aubameyang there has just gone in late on Ben White. He's going to get himself a yellow card actually, Aubameyang, in that for that challenge there. A few of the Arsenal players not happy with that. Right in front of the Chelsea dugout it was. I don't think there was any malicious intent in that, if I'm honest. Ben White's gone down. It was just a bit late. He tried to close him down. It was a late challenge. He was just trying to win the ball back there. He just caught his foot, didn't he, Aubameyang? And Arteta wasn't very happy with that challenge, as you can imagine. And he's picked up a yellow card for that. Aubameyang clearly a little bit fired up for this game. He's talking to some of his old Arsenal teammates there, Gabriel and Thomas Partey. I think they're making their feelings clear. They didn't like the challenge. It wasn't a great challenge. I don't think there's any maliciousness in it. I just think he's so fired up for this, isn't he, Aubameyang? Just a little bit too overly enthusiastic there to try and win that ball. And he's picked up a yellow card, so he's going to have to be careful now, isn't he? So early in this game, but Arsenal in possession over on that far side. This ball's dinked towards Ben White. Doesn't quite get there, but it does fall to Saka, who's put under pressure. But he does well. Saka actually gets through 2 challenges, but Chelsea do pick up the ball. Cucurella there finds Thiago Silva. That's a good ball into Aubameyang. That was a nice touch forward for Kai Havertz, just on the edge of the area. Good defending actually from Thomas Partey there. But almost for a second, it looked as though Kai Havertz was going to be in. He's certainly been a danger, hasn't he, so far in this game for Chelsea when they have attacked. But Arsenal coming forward now over on that far side with Granit Xhaka. Plays it out to Martinelli. They've linked up pretty well so far. Martinelli now cuts inside. Tries a shot. Oh, it was a header comes in. Was it Gabriel Jesus trying to get on the end of it? He couldn't quite get enough on it. He's gone behind for a goal kick. I don't know if that was a shot from Martinelli or whether that really was a cross looking for Jesus. It went right across the 6-yard box, actually. And Jesus made a great late run in there to try and get on the end of it. I don't know if he was onside or offside, actually. He didn't manage to get anything on it. It was a cross. I think it was a cross. I'm not sure whether Jesus actually got a touch on that or not. But it's gone behind anyway. He may well have been offside had it gone in. I'm not sure if it would have counted anyway. But regardless of that, it was a very good opportunity. Great play from Martinelli again. He's certainly been our most lively attacking player so far, hasn't he? Causing Chelsea quite a lot of problems over on that far side. And Jesus there not able to get enough on that header from close range. I say he may well have been offside, but it doesn't matter because he didn't go in. And it is going to be a throw over on that far side to Chelsea now. Going forward, it's flicked on there by Kai Havertz over on that far side Zinchenko does keep it in. Does he? No, he doesn't. It's gone out again. It's going to be another throw to Chelsea. This one about 10 yards further up the pitch over on that far side. Zinchenko seemed unhappy with that decision, but anyway, it is going to be a throw to Chelsea. Pretty much in line with the Arsenal penalty over on that far side. This is an opportunity now for Chelsea. Ball played in towards Loftus-Cheek, but Granit Xhaka's there. Then completes the clearance, but not very far actually. It only comes as far as Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Now plays it to Jorginho, plays it to Cucurella. Now it's back with Thiago Silva. Again, he plays that long ball forward, looking to get Aubameyang in. It's almost a mistake there from William Saliba, but he recovered well. Looked like he had slipped, and the ball was going to run through to Aubameyang, but he managed to recover himself, William Saliba, and block that. And now Arsenal can come forward themselves on this near side with Bukayo Saka. Plays it into Martin Odegaard. That's a good tackle by Silva, is it? No, it isn't. It's a free kick to Arsenal. It was a foul there on Martin Odegaard by Silva. The referee's letting some challenges go and other challenges he's giving free kicks for. Looked like Silva had got the ball there actually. Anyway, he's given a free kick and we'll take it. And we have taken it quickly. We played 30 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. A very cagey game, it has to be said. Arsenal have had more possession and have looked more threatening. But when Chelsea have come forward, they've looked a few anxious moments for Arsenal. Ben White now coming forward on his near side. Saka plays it back to him. Now it's in for Gabriel Jesus right on his near touchline. Tries to get past his Brazilian teammate Thiago Silva, and then he commits a foul, Gabriel Jesus, on Jorginho. And it is going to be a free kick to Chelsea. A little bit scrappy the game's become. And it is still 0-0. It's going to be Thiago Silva with this free kick about 15 yards outside the Chelsea penalty area. He's going to kick it long, no doubt, into the Arsenal half. He pings it up this near side, in fact, to Kai Havertz, who's done well. He's done very well. He's got past William Saliba. Kai Havertz going to get a cross in. He can, but it's deflected behind by Saliba. That was good play there from Kai Havertz. He's certainly been Chelsea's best player in this opening 31 and a half minutes. They've got a corner now, Chelsea, over on this near side in front of the Arsenal fans behind that goal. But this is the first corner Chelsea have got, I think, isn't it? Already, 31 minutes play. It took them a long time to get a corner, but they've got one now. And Arsenal are going to have to be switched on here. It's going to be Mason Mount with this corner on this near side for Chelsea. It is Mason Mount with it. Plays it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in, but it's over the top. It was Thiago Silva. He's claiming he was fouled. He wasn't. He just headed that over the bar. It was a decent delivery, actually. And he couldn't quite get his head right wrapped around it, and he's put it back behind that goal. Felt he was fouled by Thomas Partey, but he wasn't. Partey just stood his ground. Well, he did actually have his arms on him, actually. But anyway, I wouldn't give a penalty for that, really, let's be honest. And it's gone behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale now goes long with the clearance. And it's headed there well by Trevor Chalobah. It comes back now to Azpilicueta, plays it inside to Jorginho. Chelsea have maybe started to get into this game a little bit more in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes or so. But Arsenal won a free kick over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus it was who was fouled. He had that one, almost an opportunity, wasn't it, with that shot there, which was blocked by Thiago Silva for a good run. And he couldn't quite get on the end of that cross from Martinelli either, could he? Anyway, Gabriel now in possession for Arsenal over on the far side. Can Arsenal find a goal before half-time? But that attack comes to nothing, and Jorginho now plays up that far side. That's a good ball to Raheem Sterling. Plays the ball forward into Kai Havertz inside the box. Havertz gets a shot in, but it's too close to Aaron Ramsdale. But that was a little bit better from Chelsea there. Kai Havertz again involved, as he has been in most of Chelsea's good work. It was Sterling put the ball through to Havertz on that far side, and it was quite a tight angle. He had to hit the shot early. He lacked power or direction. It was easy for Aaron Ramsdale, but now Arsenal coming forward at the other end. Thomas Partey in possession, pings the ball up this near side for Bukayo Saka. Good touch from him. Plays it back to Ben White, and now it's back with William Saliba just on halfway for Arsenal. Just slows it down, William Saliba, and then pings the ball over the top, looking for the running over on that far side of Granit Xhaka. But it was a good defensive header there from Azpilicueta. But the ball forward there is headed again by William Saliba. Wins it well now. Arsenal with an opportunity with Martin Odegaard. He has to turn back now under a bit of pressure. Still got possession. Plays it forward to Granit Xhaka on the edge of the box. Tries a shot. It doesn't really get hold of it. And it's rolled behind. In fact, it may well have been deflected. Is it going to be a corner? It is going to be a corner. It was deflected there. But it's suddenly the game's opened up a little bit there. Chelsea on the attack over on that far side. The shot there from Havertz, when again maybe if he'd managed to square that across, Aubameyang was actually, I think he did try to square it across. Actually, good defending it was, but it's a corner now to Arsenal on this near side. That shot from Granit Xhaka took a deflection. Bukayo Saka's going to take this corner in front of those Chelsea fans. Is this an opportunity for Arsenal to get the goal? We've got 10.5 minutes left of this first half. It is still 0-0. Very, very few clear-cut opportunities at goal, but this could be one for Arsenal from this corner. Bukayo Saka is going to take this. Whips it with his left foot towards the middle of the 6-yard box. A header comes in, but actually the ball's not really cleared away. It's still in play. Saka now on his near side plays it back to Martin Ødegaard. Gets it back, Saka. Now he whips across in towards the far post, but it's overhit. And that will go behind for a goal kick. Or was it Thomas Partey's header there? He didn't quite get it on target towards the goal. And in the end, it comes to nothing for Arsenal. It's going to be a goal kick to Chelsea. But yeah, we have played nearly 35 and a half minutes here at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal have been the better team, just about, I would say. But Chelsea have looked threatening on one or two occasions, looking to try and get in behind that Arsenal defence, particularly through Kai Havertz. Aubameyang hasn't really been in this game at all yet, although he did pick up a yellow card for a foul on Ben White. And it's going to be a throw to Chelsea over on that far side. Oh, we're going to see a breakthrough before half-time here at Stamford Bridge in this big game. Let's see what's going to happen. It's a throw at the moment to Azpilicueta, throws it up that line, looking for Sterling, plays it back to Havertz. It comes into the box, looking for the run of Mason Mount, but the ball just got stuck behind him very slightly, and Thomas Partey cleared it away to Bukayo Saka on this near side, trying to get past Cucurella. Those two have had quite a battle on this near side, haven't they? Saka and Cucurella. It's been quite an even battle so far as well. Zinchenko now in possession for Arsenal. Pings a long ball over the top, but it's far too long. Runs all the way through to Edouard Mendy. The Chelsea goalkeeper just plays it short to Thiago Silva. The veteran Brazilian plays a long ball forward again, looking for the run in behind of Aubameyang. It's cleared away by William Saliba. And now Arsenal pick up possession again with Ben White in to Saka. Again, Cucurella's very close to him. And Saka's forced all the way back to Gabriel. Good defending again from Cucurella. Gabriel's got a lot of time over on that far side. Plays the ball square to William Saliba and now to Ben White. Back again to William Saliba. And now it's with Gabriel over on that far side. Arsenal just slowing it down a little bit. Just trying to gain a little bit more control of the game, which we've maybe just lost slightly after a pretty good start where we looked to be the much better team. It's a lot more even now. Saliba there plays the ball to Martin Ødegaard on his near side. A little bit of space for the captain. Plays it forward for Bukayo Saka. Cuts in. It's a nice ball to Gabriel Jesus. He plays it on again over on that far side to Martinelli. To Xhaka, sorry. Xhaka gets it back again off Gabriel Jesus. Wasn't a good ball, actually. Xhaka's going to struggle to keep this in. He does keep it in, but he can't keep possession, and Chelsea can now clear it away with Trevor Chalobah finds Raheem Sterling. He's tackled, though, by Zinchenko, the two former Manchester City teammates. The ball's over on that far side. It's put into the box by Jesus. Again, Chalobah headed it clear, but it's only fell to Granit Xhaka. He tried to ping it in to Bukayo Saka, but that was cleared away. Now Jorginho and Raheem Sterling again up against Zinchenko. Those two know each other very well, of course, from training sessions at Manchester City as well. Would have come up against each other, I'm sure, a few times. But Chelsea are now in possession with Thiago Silva. Brings the ball forward, plays it up this near side to Marc Cucurella. Plays the ball up that far side, looking for the run of Aubameyang, but again, it's overhit and it's run all the way into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale. He's not really got any sort of service yet, has he, Aubameyang, in this game, which will be frustrating for him, I'm sure. But obviously, it's good news for us because we don't really want him to get a clear opportunity to goal, do we? I say it would be interesting to see what he does if he was to score in this game, whether he'd celebrate and what that celebration would be. But hopefully, we won't find out. But anyway. It is 39 minutes nearly played here. Bukayo Saka coming forward for Arsenal, plays it in to Martinelli, turns inside the centre circle. Ben White's free on this near side, but it goes instead to Martin Ødegaard through the middle. Try to find a run of Bukayo Saka. Instead, though, the ball comes out to the far side to Gabriel Jesus. Puts across it, it's deflected into the arms of Mendy. And another Arsenal attack comes to nothing there. Jesus over on that far side, Arsenal's left, tried to get that cross in. They're just showing the earlier effort. It was actually, he did get on the end of that cross from Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus with his header, but he didn't get enough on it, and he's put it wide of that far post. That's the nearest, really, we've come to a goal actually so far in this first half from either team. It is a throw now to Chelsea over on the far side, which Azpilicueta is going to take, the captain for Chelsea, the Spaniard. Throws it into Loftus-Cheek, gets it back again, and then plays the ball up that far side, looking for the run of Aubameyang, trying to get him behind there, but Aaron Ramsdale's out of his area to clear it away. It's going to be another throw to Chelsea. We're into the last 5 minutes now of this first half. It's been a very tight game, very cagey. Neither team really able to create too many clear-cut opportunities, but Chelsea now looking for one now. Mason Mount's inside the penalty area. He goes past Gabriel, but good covering there from William Saliba. And that was a bit of an anxious moment there for Arsenal. Good little burst into the box there from Mason Mount. Got past Gabriel, but Saliba was across, as he's been so often this season. And that's gone out for a throw over on that far side to Arsenal, which Zinchenko is going to take. Little Ukrainian, good to see him back in the team following his injury. Now Arsenal looking to come forward with Martin Odegaard, plays the ball up this near side to Bukayo Saka. Can he get past Cucurella? He doesn't, because Cucurella wins the ball, and Mikel Arteta feels that should have been a free kick on Saka. The referee says no, and now Cucurella's gone down actually, and it's going to be a yellow card for, is it Martin Odegaard or I think it's Bukayo Saka, maybe took his frustration there out on the Spaniard. With a foul there on Cucurella, having not been given a foul just moments earlier. It was frustration there from Saka, you feel, from that earlier challenge, which did look like a foul. You have to be said. And when it wasn't given, Saka was then very frustrated and did go in rather too aggressively on the Spaniard, and he's got himself a yellow card. It's his third booking of the season, actually, Bukayo Saka. Maybe developing that more physical side to his game than perhaps he didn't have when he was a little bit younger. Anyway, Chelsea trying to come forward over on this near side. Good defending again from Saliba against Kai Havertz, and he's won a goal kick. And the Arsenal fans behind the goal enjoyed that bit of defending there from William Saliba. What a first season he's having in the Premier League. Been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? Got us out of a few tricky situations in games, hasn't he, with his great defending, and sometimes with his with a goal or two as well. He's popped up, hasn't he, at crucial times. Anyway, Arsenal trying to play it out from the back now with Saliba. Finds Ben White, plays it up the line, but Cucurella's in again. Tried to find Kai Havertz, but the ball spun away, and Gabriel's going to bring it clear for Arsenal over on that far side. Gabriel dinks a long ball over to that far side, looking for the run of Gabriel Martinelli. Zinchenko, pulls it back towards Martinelli, but it went just behind him, and Shalabar's back to clear that one away. But Chelsea now coming forward over on that far side. Good defending from Granit Xhaka, actually. And Arsenal in possession again. Arsenal finishing the half strongly now. Are we going to be able to find this goal? Gabriel Jesus over on that far side finds Granit Xhaka. That wasn't a good ball, actually. And the ball's now gone back to Edouard Mendy. Goes long for Chelsea, looking for Aubameyang, but again, Gabriel holds him up there, and Arsenal get possession back with Ben White. Now it's back with William Saliba, plays it up this near side to Bukayo Saka. William Saliba gets it back again. We're into the last 2.5 minutes of time at the end of this first half. There shouldn't be too much stoppage time, actually, because the game's pretty flowed. We haven't had a trainer on. There's been one or two free kicks and fouls. Of course there has. It's a London derby, but there hasn't been a lot of stoppages, actually. But Arsenal coming forward now on this near side with Bukayo Saka. Faced again with Cucurella. Plays it square inside to Ben White. Pings it over to that far side looking for Gabriel Jesus, but it's well defended by Azpilicueta, showing all his experience there, and then plays the long ball forward looking for Aubameyang, who's spun away there from the defender. Was it Saliba? I know from Gabriel, but it was a free kick actually. In fact, I think it may well have been offside. Was it against Aubameyang or foul? I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal on halfway, which Zinchenko is going to take, plays it square to Saliba. Now to Ben White. We're into the last 40 seconds of this first half. I'm not expecting more than maybe a minute of stoppage time. The game's flowed. It's been quite cagey and quite tense. Not a lot of goal scoring opportunities, if we're honest. It looks as though it's going to be goalless at the break. William Saliba now plays the ball up this near side. Or can Arsenal find a goal? This last chance we might get here. Saka again running at Cucurella. Cuts inside Saka, but he's actually... it was Jorginho came across and took the ball off him in the end. Jorginho's done a pretty decent job for Chelsea, just sitting in front of that defence today so far. But Cucurella's going to take this throw. There is going to be a minute of stoppage time. I didn't think there'd be much more than that. Cucurella goes long. It's flicked on by Kai Havertz, but Thomas Partey's there. Plays the ball back. Saliba's going to have to scamper after this to keep it in play, which he does. He's got plenty of time now to give it back to to Thomas Partey, and Partey pings the ball over to that far side towards Martinelli, flicks it on. Granit Xhaka's inside the penalty area on that far side, heads it back to Martinelli. Arsenal going to finish the half with a goal. It'll be a very late one if we can do it. Martinelli goes past to the byline. Can he get a ball back across the goal? No, he can't. He has won a corner though for Arsenal again. This will definitely be the last chance of this half. We've got 20 seconds of stoppage time remaining at the end of this first half. Arsenal need to get on with this here. If we can get this corner into the box, we could well get ourselves a lead just on the stroke of half time. Saliba's in there. Gabriel's in there. Gabriel Jesus, of course, is in there as well. Thomas Partey, Ben White as well. Plenty of Arsenal bodies in the box. Corner comes in from that far. It's not really a great corner, actually. It's headed away. And there goes the half-time whistle. It is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. It's been a bit of a frustrating game. Very, very tight. Arsenal enjoyed the lion's share of the possession. Didn't really create an awful lot. The nearest we came was Jesus' flying header from Martinelli's cross. He just got a little bit on the end of it. Couldn't direct it in to the goal. At the other end, Kai Havertz had a couple of chances for Chelsea, but not really overly stretching. Aaron Ramsdale, Aubameyang's not really been in the game. He got a yellow card for a foul on Ben White. And that's pretty much the story of that first half. Not a great game of football, it has to be said. Very, very tense. And Arsenal playing okay. We're playing pretty well, but we're not creating too much. Chelsea have defended well and restricting us. And looks like they're trying to play on a counter-attack almost. But we've seen, haven't we, in recent games, particularly away from home, we've struggled in the second half, haven't we? Let's hope that isn't the case today, because it's only 0-0. And if we struggle in the second half here, we're going to struggle to win this game, aren't we? Or maybe even get anything from it at all. But it's been a good start from Arsenal. But yeah, we just maybe lost our way slightly in the middle section of it, and then we finished quite strongly as well. But at half time, it is 0-0, and yes, not the most riveting game for a Sunday lunchtime, is it? But it's still early days, of course, and I'm sure we will. The game will get better in the second half. Let's hope so. It's going to open up a little bit more, I'm sure. But so far, so good. I mean, it's 0-0 at half time. We can't complain with that, really, can we? It's okay. We'll certainly take that, won't we? But still, a lot of work to do if we're going to win this game. And I think winning the game is really what we want to try and do today, don't we? Because it will, go back to the top of the league and all that kind of stuff. So let's hope that we can do that. But yeah, still a long way to go. But so far, so good. And it is 0-0 at half time. Of course, don't forget, coming up after this in about an hour or so, when this game's finished, of course, we will be switching to the other stream for the Arsenal women away at Leicester. That is a big game as well, isn't it, for Arsenal women? So we're hoping that we can get a victory there as well. And who knows, again, we could end this weekend with both our teams top of the league, couldn't we? Which has been the case a few weekends recently, which is nice to see. So let's see how that goes. So I'm just going to promote the other stream, actually, which... oh, that's the wrong one. I was just going to promote the other stream. to see if we can get some people obviously watching that with us a little bit later on as well. Let's have a look. So here we go. Yeah, that's that one there. So just need to copy that. But yeah, so it hasn't been yet. The game hasn't really sparked into life yet, has it? But let's hope the second half's going to be a little bit better because, yeah, that wasn't the best half of football. Let's be honest. But anyway, we've just heard actually the Tottenham women game against Everton has been postponed because of a waterlogged pitch, which is a little bit of a shame, isn't it? But anyway. There has been a lot of rain around in the London area and the south today, so that's obviously why. But yeah, that game was called off. But as far as we know, the Arsenal women game is going to be fine up at Leicester, which will be coming up, I'll say, straight after this one. I'm just putting the stream out now. It will be on a different stream, so if you do want to watch that as well, I'll shut this stream down at the end of this game and then we'll move straight over to the other one. It makes it quite a busy afternoon for me this Sunday. But what would we rather be doing? Watching a bit of football, watching Arsenal hopefully get 2 victories. What could be better? But yeah, it's quite busy, but it's good fun. But it's fine. I've got me water. Other waters are available, but not here because that's the only one I've got. But yeah, I'm going to probably need it because it's a bit of a monster session. Oh, it's certainly going to be a monster session, isn't it, today? But it's fine. We love it, really, don't we? It's all good. And yeah, if you are going to join us later for the women, that'd be great to see you for that as well, because it is going to be good fun. And hopefully it's going to be another good Arsenal victory, which is what we want, isn't it? Just trying to keep winning games because it's quite good fun, isn't it, winning games? We quite enjoy it. I haven't maybe quite enjoyed the first half of this game too much. It's been not really got going yet, has it? It's been a little bit of a cagey game so far, but it's still only half time and it can liven up a bit in the second half. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more goalmouth excitement because there's not been much of it to cheer us so far. But, you know, Arsenal probably just shaded that first half, I would say, in terms of possession. And we probably did have slightly more of the very few opportunities that there were. We certainly had more of them, didn't we? I don't think there's much doubt about that. But yeah, we haven't really got into our flow yet, have we? Which is a shame. But anyway, let's see what the second half brings at Stamford Bridge. Let's hope for a little bit more excitement, I would say. That's what we want, don't we? A little bit more goalmouth action. Obviously, what we really want is an Arsenal goal and an Arsenal win, because we've got our 1-0 to the Arsenal chant ready to go, and we haven't been able, obviously, to play it yet because there hasn't been a goal, but I'm sure there will be soon. But yeah, so it's half time and not an awful lot so far to get overly excited about, but I mean, we'll take a draw, will we? Let's be honest. I don't think we'll be too disappointed if we get a draw, will we? Let's see. Oh, we've had some comments coming in now. Sorry, I've just been busy. Steve, how you doing, Steve? Good to see you, mate. I know it's very early where you are in Australia. Finally found you. Only took 30 minutes. Hello. Hey, mate. How you doing? Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Terry says, let's hope Graham Potter doesn't outsmart Arteta in the second half. It did sound pretty dull. Yeah, it was pretty dull, to be honest. Not a lot really goalmouth action. Arsenal played fairly well in terms of possession of the ball. Steve says, what happened in the first half? I missed it all. Well, not a lot, actually, to be perfectly honest. We had a couple of little opportunities. Gabriel Jesus with a header from close range, he put wide. Unmarked, should have done better, really. Other than that, we've not really created too much. And Chelsea haven't either really. Kai Havertz has looked a little bit lively. Aubameyang's done nothing other than get himself booked so far. Terry says, afternoon, morning or evening, Steve. Nice to see you again. I think it's morning. It will be probably well, I don't know, it'll probably be in the middle of the night, won't it, actually, for Steve? Let's hope you're able to watch the game later as well. Steve says, yes, I fell asleep. I missed the first half. Well, I won't worry. You didn't miss a lot. You've probably been better off sleeping, if I'm totally honest, because it wasn't it wasn't the greatest 45 minutes of football, but hopefully you're going to be with us for the best part of the game in the second half. Although Arsenal have had trouble, haven't they? Second halves have not been good to Arsenal, have they? You have to say this season. Certainly not in recent games. Certainly not away from home. So we all saw what happened in the second half on Thursday night. Wasn't great, was it? Steve says here it's 11:55 p.m. Oh, okay. Oh, so obviously the women's game's going to be. You're going to have to stay up late, aren't you, to watch the women with us later? But anyway, hopefully you can stay awake now. You've had a sleep. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It'll be good. So yeah, that was the first half. Now you haven't missed much, so don't worry. You haven't really missed anything at all, if I'm totally honest, because there hasn't been much happening at either end of the pitch really. But anyway. Just did a few comments, sorry. So yeah, we are looking forward to the start of the second half now. Hopefully, it's going to be a little bit better. 68% possession that we had actually in that first half. I'm just seeing, and yeah, I mean Chelsea have been looking to try and play us on the counter attack, haven't they? Which they've had one or two bright moments, but they haven't looked like scoring. We haven't really looked like scoring. It's just been one of them games, hasn't it? So we'll see what happens in a second. It can only get better, Kai. Let's be honest. That's the plan, isn't it? It can only get better. So we shall see. We shall see what the second half brings. And of course, just to remind you again, obviously a bit later on today after this game. Well, I say a bit later. It's only in an hour's time. The women kick off. Actually, I don't know whether the team's out yet. Actually. Let's have a look and see if we can find the team news for the Arsenal women. It may be a little bit early still yet. Let's have a look and see if the team news is out for the women. No, it isn't. It isn't yet, but it probably won't be very long, will it? It's just over an hour till kickoff, so let's hope we're here soon. Matt, of course, is at the game today, isn't it, at Leicester? So he'll be doing a vlog for us, which we look forward to later. That'll go out on the channel at some point. Steve says there, is Jesus playing today? Yeah, he's playing today. He had one little opportunity of a header that he put wide. Deepak's in the chat. It's India versus England semi-final on Thursday in Adelaide. Are you excited? Yes and no. I wouldn't say I get too excited about cricket. But if I get a chance, I might watch it, a little bit of it. Terry says, just about to drive home. So same as first half, please. Richard, be over in about 30 minutes if the roads ain't flooded. Absolutely pouring down here since late yesterday. Yeah, I know the weather's been bad down your end of the world. But I say a couple of that WSL game has been called off, hasn't it? But actually up here it's not too bad. It's a bit cloudy, but we've had a little bit of rain, but nothing too bad actually, which is nice. So we still haven't got the team news from the women yet. Oh yeah, we just got the team news actually. Just as we said there, look at that, it's just come in. So the Arsenal women's team for later: Zinsberger in goal, Laura Wainwright, Lotta Rubenmoy, Steph Catley, Katie McCabe, Leah Walty, Jordan Nobbs, and Frida Marnham, and then Beth Mead, Stina Blackstenius, and Caitlin Ford. So a decent Arsenal team, as you'd expect. And on the bench for Arsenal, Marquise, Williams, Beattie, Moritz, Reed, Iwabochi, Hurtig, Aubameyang, and Earl. So a couple of youngsters on the bench as well for Arsenal women. The squad's a little bit the squad's a little bit thin on the ground, isn't it, at this moment in time with the injuries that we've got? But it's a decent Arsenal team there, actually. We're quite happy with that. Pretty much as expected, if we're honest. Wasn't really expecting too many changes there for Arsenal, and in fact there isn't any, so that's pretty good, isn't it? So I'll write this down on my team sheet actually while I've got a bit of time before the second half starts. So yeah, it's a decent Arsenal team, isn't it? As we would expect. Of course, no Kim Little. Unfortunately, Captain Kim is out with this injury, knee injury. She's probably going to be out until the new year. The injuries are mounting up a little bit at the moment, aren't they? Which isn't great. But anyway, can't do anything about them, can we? We just have to hope that they recover quickly and back very, very soon. So we'll see about that. So let's see. Just try to get the team written down. And I'll try and find out the Leicester team as well. Not going to get a lot of time in between these games, are we? They don't think about this, do they? When they put when they schedule the games, they don't really think about the impact it has on some fans who actually enjoy watching the men and the women. But anyway, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it now. It's done. But that's the Arsenal team for later on anyway. So look forward to that. And we shall see. Steve says there, a good player, India guy that made 61. He says MCG had 85,000 crowd. And Deepak says, as you watch cricket, Steve says, yeah, from Australia. Yeah, I think it's, obviously it's a bit bigger, isn't it, in that part of the world than it is in England. But, we've got a lot of cricket fans here. Deepak says, what turned you off about cricket? Well, nothing in particular. It's just not my number one sport. I watch cricket if I get an opportunity to. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. Unfortunately, it's just not really for me. It's not a sort of game I enjoy as much. But yeah, the 2020 is a lot better. I enjoy that. It's a lot quicker, a lot faster moving. Test matches tend to be a bit boring, go on for too long. And yeah, a lot of the time the weather decides the result, which is a little bit not sport for me. But anyway, the 2020 is a lot better, and that's why this World Cup's a lot better. I'd rather watch that than the kind of test match side of cricket. Anyway, I also got a free kick at the very start of the second half over on the far side, which Martin Odegaard is going to take for Arsenal. He's going to swing this in with his left foot. He does towards the 6-yard box. It's headed behind actually there by Thiago Silva. It is going to be a corner to Arsenal. Started the second half on the front foot, which is good to see. We haven't really done that too much. Steve says there, my number one sport is AFL, then EPL. Oh, is that the cricket, is it first? Yeah. Shane says there, Zinchenko is good going forward and terrible in defence. The question is he worth starting ahead of KT? That's a point away to a good team. I remember him being at fault for Anthony goal against Man U. Yeah, I mean, it's just more for the system that we play, the style that we play. He fits in. We've also got this corner, Bukayo Saka with it. It's a poor corner, actually. Aubameyang heads that away at the near post. And so there's a mistake at the back. Is there? Oh, got away with that one there. Looked as though Kai Havertz was going to be through then, actually, on goal. But it was a free kick for handball. The clearance there from Ben White was charged down by Havertz. He did have his arms up like that. The ball's hit his arms. The Aussie... Oh, of course, Aussie Rules, yeah. Aussie Rules is a good game, actually. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? I've watched that a few times when it's been on the telly. I quite enjoy that. You never know what's going on, really. It's quite full on, isn't it? But it's certainly good to watch. Aussie Rules football, yeah. Anyway, I also got this free kick now. Granit Xhaka puts it into the penalty area for Chelsea's penalty. It's headed on. Back in again by Gabriel, but Chelsea do clear the ball away. And then Zinchenko lofts it back high in towards the penalty area. It's headed out by Trevor Chalobah. And Chelsea not really getting the ball out too well at the moment. It's back with Gabriel now. Tries to come forward down this near side. and it's gone out for a throw to Chelsea. We've played 48 minutes nearly here. It is still 0-0. And Arsenal come out of the blocks pretty well at the start of this second half, actually. Arteta's miles out of his technical area again. I don't even know why they bother having a technical area for him. He never stays in it, does he? And it's quite tight at Chelsea anyway, isn't it, as we know. Anyway, that ball played over the top there by Martin Odegaard, looking for the running behind of Jesus. Chelsea do clear that away. William Saliba, Gabriel tries to head it away. Oh, a bit of a dangerous header away. Aubameyang's picked the ball up inside the penalty area. Gets a shot in there. It hits William Saliba, goes behind for a corner. A little bit of sloppy defending there from Arsenal straight away at the start of this second half. It's just a long ball played forward with it. It was headed up initially by Gabriel. Zinchenko then played it across the goal. Saliba missed his kick, and Aubameyang's shot was then blocked by Saliba. And it is a corner to Chelsea over on that far side. We made that ourselves with our own mistakes. That's been played in towards the near post. It's flicked on, and it's going to be another corner, in fact, to Chelsea, defended at the near post. I think it might have been Granit Xhaka put that header behind. It's another corner to Chelsea as they're looking to try to get themselves in front in this game here. This corner comes in again towards the near post. It's flicked on by an Arsenal head. It falls to Raheem Sterling, does it? No, it doesn't, because William Saliba's there with a good clearance, although it's more up than out. And he does complete the job almost. But then Chelsea pick the ball up now. Raheem Sterling, in fact, an Arsenal player's gone down injured. There's going to be a yellow card here. I'm not quite sure who's getting this yellow card, actually. He's got a yellow card in his hand, the referee. He's calling the trainer on. There is an Arsenal player down. Got a feeling it might well be Azpilicueta that's going to get this yellow card for Chelsea. He's protested his innocence there, but I do believe he's going to get a yellow card. It seemed like he won the ball, actually. Let's have a look at the replay of that. He won the ball, and then Martinelli's caught him, if anything. I'm not quite sure that's a yellow card. I mean, what else was he supposed to do to try and win the ball? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, Martinelli has got injured, and it is a yellow card to Azpilicueta. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. He got the ball first, Azpilicueta. He did maybe have his studs up a little bit. That's perhaps why he's been booked. But he couldn't do anything else to try and win the ball. He got there first, and unfortunately, Martinelli's kicked his foot. And Martinelli's come off more badly injured. Zinchenko and Azpilicueta are speaking to each other, but it is a yellow card for the Chelsea captain. In fact, he isn't the Chelsea captain. He hasn't got the armband on. Maybe Thiago Silva's still captain then. I mean, he won the ball. I really don't think that's a foul. If anything, Martinelli kicked him. But anyway, it is a foul, and it is a yellow card. And Arsenal going to have a free kick. But some sloppy defending there, actually, from Arsenal at the start of that second half there. You know, almost presented a chance to Aubameyang. But it was Saliba recovered well, having missed his kick initially. The ball's now over on that far side with Bukayo Saka, plays it back into Ben White. He's putting a bit of pressure, Ben White. In fact, too much pressure by Mason Mount, and it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Gabriel now in possession. Plays it square to Saliba. Chelsea seem to be closing us down a little bit earlier in this second half, actually. You know, Ben White now comes forward. He's done well, Ben White, but that's not a very good ball forward, actually. And Chelsea can pick up possession again. It's played out to that far side. A ball over the top by Aubameyang. Not a great ball. He's looking for the runner, Jorginho, but it's going to be a throw to Chelsea over on that far side, which Marc Cucurella is going to take. Aubameyang's had that one shot at goal, which was just that few moments ago, wasn't it? The only effort he's really had so far in this game. Trevor Chalobah now plays the ball up this near side to Azpilicueta. He plays it on to Raheem Sterling. Not really too much going on ahead of him there, Raheem Sterling. And Martinelli has won the ball back, and that's Zinchenko. Plays it back to Aaron Ramsdale. It's been quite a scrappy start to this second half as well, actually. So Chelsea have never lost a game this season in the Premier League when it's been level at half-time. They've just put a stat on there, a little bit of a pointless stat really, but anyway, a stat it is nonetheless. Thomas Partey now in possession for Arsenal, coming forward on halfway. tries to thread the ball into Martinelli. He's put under pressure there from Chalobah and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and now Chelsea come away with the ball. In fact, Loftus-Cheek's got a little bit of space now on his near side. Zinchenko has gone too far forward, and then Thomas Partey comes across and fouls Loftus-Cheek, and I think he's going to get a yellow card as well now. They're starting to mount up these cards, aren't they? In fact, maybe he's not going to get a yellow card. Michael Oliver's coming across just to spray the line on the pitch. It was a foul, there's no doubt about that. He couldn't get the ball, Thomas Partey, and he's just brought down Loftus-Cheek to prevent that attack going any further. But it's a dangerous free kick, actually, for Arsenal, which we're going to have to try and defend this now. It's over on this near side. It's about 15 yards in from the near touchline, about 15 yards outside the penalty area as well. So an opportunity for Chelsea to maybe whip this ball in, Mason Mount or Cucurella. In fact, it's going to be Mason Mount with it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's an Arsenal head gets there. I think it may well have been Gabriel Jesus, actually, and then the clearance is completed into the centre circle. Mendy's there for Chelsea, just lofts the ball back in towards the Arsenal penalty area again, but it's going to go all the way through to Aaron Ramsdale, who collects that ball quite comfortably and rolls it out to Ben White over on that far side. Ben White plays the ball up the line to Bukayo Saka. Can Arsenal find a breakthrough into Martin Ødegaard? Martin Ødegaard with a little bit of space, pings the ball up this near side inside the penalty area. Gabriel Jesus plays it back across the 6-yard box. Mendy's there with a punch. Good punch it was, in fact, by the Chelsea goalkeeper. The ball's gone out for a throw over on that far side to Arsenal. But that was a much better attack there from Arsenal. Jesus over on that far side of the penalty area, chipped it in, and Mendy punched it clear. But Arsenal have got a throw now, which Ben White's going to take over on Arsenal's right, the far side as we look. Played into Gabriel Jesus. Can he twist and turn and try and win something? He's won a corner off Thiago Silva. And Arsenal have now got an opportunity to try to get this goal to give us the lead here at Stamford Bridge. It is a corner to Arsenal over on that far side. Bukayo Saka is going to come across and take it. In fact, it's gone short to Ødegaard. Ødegaard now whips across in. Header from Thomas Partey. I couldn't quite get enough on it there, Thomas Partey. Or was it Martinelli? They both went for that there. A slightly different corner routine from Arsenal. Played short from Saka to Ødegaard. And then Ødegaard whipped across in. And in fact, Thomas Partey just got in front of Martinelli. The ball was probably better for Martinelli. And Thomas Partey took it off his head. And Martinelli would have had a great chance there. You would have felt there to have headed that in. But Thomas Partey there just took it away from Martinelli there. He was just shaped to get ahead of it on goal. Anyway, it is a goal kick to Chelsea. Mendy's now speaking to Thiago Silva. Not quite sure what's going on there. It looks like there may be some kind of health emergency in the crowd behind Aaron Ramsdale's goal. So there's a break in play at the moment. The Arsenal players have come across for a drink and to get some words from Arteta, and the Chelsea players are coming over to this near side as well. There seems to be some sort of medical emergency behind the goal that Aaron Ramsdale was defending in this second half. So we've got a break in play. So not much is happening at the moment, unfortunately. So anyway, we shall see what happens. The Arsenal players have now had a drink and they're coming back into position. Let's hope this delay's not too long and whatever's going on in the crowd is soon sorted out very quickly. But there's still, the players are still not ready. We're not ready to continue the game. It is going to be a goal kick to Chelsea when we do finally get back up and running again. But at this moment in time, nothing's happening. You're not missing anything because there's nothing going on. They're just showing Reece James in the crowd. They're obviously injured. Ben Chilwell's injured as well for Chelsea. They've got one or two problems, haven't they? So what I might do is take this break in play to try to see if I can find the Leicester team for the women's game coming up after this. Let's have a look if we can see what their team is for this game today as well. Right, okay, so I've found it now. So the game's back. Actually, we'll leave that for now. The game's back up and running again. That goal kick from Chelsea. Zinchenko now plays it back to Aaron Ramsdale. So everyone was going on. All a bit of a risky ball there from Ramsdale to Thomas Partey. William Slee was under a bit of pressure on that far side. Gets it back to Ramsdale, and he goes long up the pitch there. And now it's back with Mendy at the other end of the pitch. Plays it up this near side to Azpilicueta. But he's given the ball away to Ødegaard now. It's with Saka. But Saka's challenged there by Cucurella again. And now Raheem Sterling's twisted away. He was looking for a bit of support. He didn't find any. And in the end, he took too long. And Arsenal won the ball back with Granit Xhaka. Now it's with Thomas Partey. And Arsenal over on that far side with Gabriel Jesus. Next with Ben White. And it's come right back to Aaron Ramsdale. Gabriel now in possession for Arsenal. Steve says there, yeah, Arsenal playing bad, someone upset. Steve says, who do women play? Women are playing Leicester, who are bottom of the league actually. But not that means anything. They've got a new manager in this week, so it's going to be a tough game. And Arsenal's got a lot of injuries. Suddenly Gabriel Jesus nipped in there and he's fouled by Trevor Chalobah. That's going to be another yellow card for Chalobah. And it is indeed a yellow card for him. It was Cucurella's ball there. Gabriel Jesus just got there ahead of Chalobah. And Chalobah sort of basically stopped. And Jesus went into him, but it's clearly a yellow card. And that's his first booking actually of the season for Trevor Chalobah, the Chelsea defender, who's picks up the other card in there. Saka now gets a cross in. So it's come all the way to Martinelli at the far post. Oh dear, the volley. I don't know if it was towards the goal. It's went straight across the goal. And Chelsea do head it out with Jorginho. It's come to Ben White over on the far side. It looks as though Martinelli was in a little bit of space there on the far post, but he wasn't quite able to direct that ball towards the goal. He's got the ball again now, though. Gabriel Martinelli looking to have a run at the Chelsea defence. He's held up there well by Azpilicueta and then Sterling. In the end, though, he's going to be a throw to Arsenal on this near side. And Chelsea are preparing a substitute, and it's going to be Amondo Broja, actually, the striker. Does that mean Aubameyang's game is over? Which means, of course, he won't have scored against us. Or is Chelsea going to go maybe two strikers? Aubameyang's not really been in this game, so you'd understand if he did go off. But anyway, Arsenal on the attack at the moment with Ben White. Plays it back to Thomas Partey. Chelsea just keeping us at arm's length. It's been that sort of game, hasn't it? There hasn't been too much goal mouth action. Oh, Martinelli's just been beaten to the ball there by Azpilicueta. And now Chelsea have got an opportunity to come forward. Raheem Sterling on this near side, but Arsenal get their defensive shape back quickly, force Chelsea back. And now it's with Thiago Silva inside at the Chelsea penalty area. He's looking for some movement ahead of him as well. Gabriel Jesus has won the ball off him. Now it's Saka over on the far side. This could be a moment for Arsenal. Jesus shot there at the near post, saved by Mendy. Maybe he should have tried to pull it back there, Jesus. He tried the shot at the near post. It's been pushed behind. Thiago Silva, I said he's got a mistake in him. He took too long there. And Jesus won the ball off him. And then he found Saka. Saka gave it back to Jesus. He tried to score at the near post. The angle was very tight, but he has won Arsenal a corner. He looks quite anxious in front of goal, doesn't he, Jesus? And it's because he hasn't scored for a while, I suppose. But anyway, it is a corner to Arsenal over on the far side, which Bukayo Saka is going to take. We've played 62 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. It is still Arsenal 0. Well, Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. Not really a lot's happened in the second half in terms of goal mouth incident, really. But it's Arsenal got a corner now, an opportunity to get the lead. Saka's ball into the near post. Goes all the way through. It's in. It's been turned in from close range. Gabriel with a goal. Terrible defending from Chelsea. It wasn't even a great corner, it has to be said. It doesn't matter. It was missed by everybody. And from about 2 yards, Gabriel's there to turn the ball home from very, very close range. And wow. It may well be scrappy. It may well have been some terrible defending from Chelsea, but it doesn't matter. It is. Everybody missed it. It came all the way through. Gabriel couldn't miss from about 2 yards, and Arsenal have the lead. The corner just went through. In fact, it was Silva that got a little flick on it. I think it was going to be an own goal. It would have gone in anyway, but Gabriel's made sure. It was a terrible mistake at the back from Chelsea, and Gabriel's forced it in to the roof of the net from virtually on the goal line. A scrappy goal, but an important goal nonetheless, and Arsenal do lead. It was Saka's corner that went all the way through. And Steve says they're fire up, Gunners. Steve says, beauty, go Gunners, come on now. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't the most pretty of goals, but maybe kind of keeping in contact with this game, actually. It hasn't been the most sort of cleanest of games, has it really, in many ways, for purist football terms. It doesn't matter. We're now winning 1-0. We are ahead. And yes, things are looking good. 63 minutes, that goal. Gabriel, his second goal of the season. He was the highest scoring central defender in the Premier League last season. And he's back among the goals. Broja has now come on for Chelsea, and Gallagher as well. They're going for it now, aren't they? I'm not sure who's gone off. I think Aubameyang is one of them. I can't see him at this moment. So, Aubameyang's gone off, and Havertz has gone off as well. So Gallagher and Broja are on. So they've changed their attack, Chelsea. So Aubameyang won't be scoring against us today. In fact, the last action he saw on the pitch was to see Arsenal score. So a mixed day for him, certainly, I'm sure. Arsenal do clear that ball away there. Aubameyang sitting now on the bench looking a little bit sorry for himself, it has to be said. And Arsenal now coming forward up the other end. Gabriel Jesus is in behind. Silva there has done well, actually. And the ball went off Jesus. It's a goal kick to Chelsea. We're midway through the second half. Arsenal lead 1-0. Gabriel with the goal from a corner. Really, really poor defending from Chelsea, but that doesn't matter. We'll take that. It wasn't even a great corner, but it doesn't matter now. Sterling 04. Chelsea plays the ball up the line at 2. The substitute, Armando Broja. He's got there ahead of William Saliba on his near side, Broja. The Albanian, but good defending from Saliba. And then the ball goes off the Chelsea forward. It is going to be a throw to Arsenal on this near side. Good defending, though, that was from William Saliba. And now Arsenal got the lead. We just need to manage this game well, don't we, in these last 25 minutes that remain. And we'll be going home with a very, very important 3 points. It'll be a third victory at Chelsea in consecutive seasons in the league, which is very unusual, isn't it? It'll be the first time for a very long time that we've done that since the 1970s. Jesus has just gone down, holding the bottom of his back. But it is going to be a throw to Chelsea on this near side. Jesus didn't like the challenge on him there by Azpilicueta, and he's just told him that as well. Anyway, Trevor Chalobah. I keep calling him William Chalobah. I don't know why. Maybe it just sounds better. Anyway, Trevor Chalobah was played it back to Mendy. Now Azpilicueta on his near side, and it's gone off Granit Xhaka for a throw to Chelsea. What will their changes up front do? Will they start to create a few more chances? Because so far they've created very, very little in this game. It has to be said. And Arsenal coming forward now on that far side. Martin Ødegaard having a run at that Chelsea defence, cuts inside, pings the ball over to the far side, but it's not a great ball, actually. And it's gone behind for a goal kick to Chelsea. So it is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. That goal from Gabriel just a few moments ago. And as things stand, Arsenal will be back on top of the Premier League. And Saka's won the ball back over on that far side of Cucurella, but Cucurella wins it back. And then Ben White. Actually, no, I thought the referee had given a free kick, but he hasn't. Arsenal play on. It's with Granit Xhaka now. Granit Xhaka plays it square to Zinchenko. Can he line up across Zinchenko? He does. It's half-headed away, and he comes to Bukayo Saka on the far post. Saka shoots over the bar. The angle was tight, actually. Very, very tight. And he couldn't quite keep his shot down. Again, it wasn't great defending from Chelsea. Saka just managed to switch it onto his right foot to get away from Cucurella. But he scooped it high over the bar. But that was a decent opportunity for Arsenal, actually. Just for a moment, it looked as though he had a little bit of space inside the area. Bukayo Saka. But he's fired it over. It's a goal kick to Chelsea, who are now looking to try to find a way back into this game. But Arsenal in control at this moment in time, it has to be said. a game of very, very few chances, really. But Arsenal took the one that's coming their way. Now we've got another opportunity on that far side. Oh, Mendy did well, actually. Saka looked as though he was going to be in, but Mendy came out of his goal quickly there and just managed to get there. As Saka tried to loft the ball over him. Cucurella was on the cover, maybe, but if he got that wrong, the goalkeeper there, it could well have been a penalty to Arsenal. Anyway, Chelsea now coming forward up this near side. Raheem Sterling trying to get the better of Zinchenko, which he has done. And now he finds Conor Gallagher, the substitute, who's just come on, gets the ball back again. Sterling back into Gallagher. This is a little bit better from Chelsea. Now it's with Jorginho, plays it square to Loftus-Cheek. But Arsenal now, everyone behind the ball, looking to shut the routes through. That's a ball played in towards a penalty, looking for Sterling, headed away by Zinchenko. It's going to come to Martinelli on this near side. He's not had much involvement in his second half, Martinelli. Shane says all this talk about Jesus and Zinchenko improved us this season, but it's Saliba who's really important to our progress. Now, you're right, he is. He's been brilliant at the back again today, William Saliba. And he has probably been the most important player that's come in. I suppose people don't talk about it as much because he was at the club already, wasn't he? He was already there before. Anyway, that's a long ball played over the top. The header comes in at the far post from Breyer, but it's gone behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. But yeah, it's Gabriel's goal. Very, very scrappy, it has to be said. Came all the way through. He couldn't really miss, could he, from a yard? Just bad defending. It was deflected maybe twice. And Gabriel couldn't miss. And again, Thiago Silva is at fault for a goal that Chelsea have conceded. I don't know when people are going to start to maybe realise that for all his experience, that maybe he's a bit of a liability for Chelsea. Anyway, Martin Odegaard trying to create something for Arsenal, but we've managed to win that ball back, but it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. They're moving into towards the last 20 minutes now. Is this going to be a big 20 minutes for Arsenal? Well, it is going to be a big 20 minutes for Arsenal. Can we hold on to this lead or even add to it possibly? But anyway, Chelsea are now trying to come forward, but that's given away. Martinelli now has got to run at the Chelsea defence. He's going to go on his own as he goes around a long way. He's inside the penalty area now, Martinelli, but he's actually lost out there to Azpilicueta, plays the ball forward to Sterling, gets it back to Conor Gallagher and Ruben Loftus-Cheek there. Chelsea trying to build and attack themselves, trying to come forward. Chalobah plays it across to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva now looks for a pass into midfield. He finds one. In fact, it's to Broja, who's dropped in deep, finds Cucurella over on that far side. 20 minutes to play now, or just less than 20 minutes to play. Arsenal leading 1-0. This would be a very, very important, very impressive victory for Arsenal if we can see this through now. Silva plays it square to Chalobah into midfield to Conor Gallagher. Chalobah gets it back again and then plays it out to that far side to Thiago Silva. Into midfield now to Jorginho. Plays a long ball over the top, looking for the run of Mason Mount, but he's not going to get there. He's going to run behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. 71.5 minutes played. Graham Potter looking on in the rain here at Stamford Bridge. Is he going to be able to negotiate an equaliser for his team? But Arteta's looking fairly relaxed, even a little bit wet. His hair still hasn't moved though, has it? Which, you know, I suppose is pretty standard really, isn't it, for Mikel Arteta's hair? It's got a... I was going to say it's got a mind of its own, but it hasn't really. It doesn't do anything, does it? It just stays where it is all the time. Anyway, Chelsea win that header there from a goal kick, but it falls to Granit Xhaka. Now to Martinelli on this near side, battling away. He does well, Martinelli. He then commits a foul on Conor Gallagher. And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. The substitute Gallagher had that great season last year, didn't he? Playing for Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira, of course, but he's back at Chelsea now and he's doing well. A couple of goals for him this season. And I'm sure Graham Potter is hoping he's going to have an impact in this game. But so far, he hasn't managed to really get on the ball too much. Cucurella over on that far side. Steve says there, bring on Nelson. Maybe. I've got a feeling, though, if it stays like this and we get into the last 10 minutes or so, he might well bring on Rob Holding. That would be my guess, personally. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I think Rob Holding may well be coming on at some stage if it stays at 1-0. There's an offside there, though, against Arsenal, I think it was. Or was it an offside? It's an offside against Chelsea, actually, sorry. Over on that far side in that previous attack. So it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, which William Saliba was going to take, but he's leaving it instead. In fact, Chelsea are going to make another substitution now. Kovacic is going to be coming on. Matej Kovacic, the Croatian. He is going to be coming on for Chelsea. And there's going to be a free kick there. It looks as though Gabriel Jesus was going to be in there inside the penalty area, but it was a foul on Thiago Silva. And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. And we are now counting down towards the last 15 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal just over 15 minutes away from what would be a really, really good victory for Arsenal in this game. Put us back on top of the table, and another statement victory for Arsenal. We've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Tottenham, and we are now very close to beating Chelsea as well. Can we hold on to this lead? But Chelsea are coming forward now on that far side. They haven't really threatened too much in this game, but suddenly they're looking more dangerous now. The ball over on that far side. It's a really good run actually from Broja. Pulls it back towards the edge of the box, but Granit Xhaka's there to complete the clearance, but not very far actually. But now Arsenal on a counter-attack with Gabriel Jesus. He's running at that Chelsea defence. He's gone past one challenge, gone past two. Plays the ball through to Martin Odegaard. Is this going to be the moment for the second goal? He tries to chip it over Mendy, but it's gone wide. Gabriel Martinelli got up in support there. That was the opportunity there to kill this game off and make it 2-0. Brilliant play from Jesus initially there. He went past a couple of challenges. He did it really well. He then found Martin Odegaard, who'd got himself into space over on that far side. Martinelli was free. As soon as he cut inside, he should have gone to Martinelli. Instead, he tried to curl it in that far corner, but put it wide. And that was a good opportunity to make it 2-0. We're going to get opportunities on the counter-attack, aren't we? There's no doubt about that, as Chelsea push on, looking to try to get the equaliser. And if we can take one of them, the game's over. But now Saka over on that far side. Is this going to be the moment? Saka into the box. His cross comes in from Ben White over on that far side. But again, Chelsea do manage to get it away, but not very far. It comes out to Granit Xhaka. He's going to try a shot. Is he from distance with his left foot? He does. It hits a Chelsea defender, Thiago Silva it was. But Arsenal coming forward again. William Saliba over on that far side does well. Goes past two challenges, William Saliba. What a run this is. Saliba inside the penalty area. Can he win the corner? Gets a cross in instead. But I think it's overhit slightly. Martinelli should keep it in there, and he does. What a run that was there from Saliba, playing as a right winger almost there for a few moments there. Pretty exciting stuff. Delboy Gunner TV's in the chat. Hey, mate, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. This is going to be a big win for Arsenal if we can hang on to this. Thomas Partey, they're coming forward for Arsenal, looking to try and get this second goal. Martinelli on this near side plays it into the penalty area to Granit Xhaka. Now he's got it back to Zinchenko. Can we get a cross in? Zinchenko seems reluctant to cross it for now, but now he's come back inside, plays it back to Gabriel, the goal scorer. That cross, though, is a poor one. It's headed away by Cucurella. But Chelsea can't get the ball out at the moment. Ben White plays out to that far side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka now with a couple of defenders ahead of him. Tried to play it into Gabriel Jesus. Zinchenko wins it back, though, for Arsenal. Jesus now dinks it over the top. But Thiago Silva's there again and clears it away. But again, Chelsea can't get the ball out. And Arsenal winning it back. But now they've got an opportunity now to get the ball forward with Armando Broja over on that far side. Another player, of course, that spent last season out on loan. Another good run from him, but Thomas Partey takes the ball off him. And actually, Arsenal is a little bit scrappy there in midfield. But now it's better from Arsenal. Thomas Partey looking for a little bit of space. Plays it square to Granit Xhaka. We're into the last 14 minutes here. Or there's a slip there from Zinchenko. Suddenly, Chelsea have got a spare man over here on this near side. It's Azpilicueta on the ball. Goes around the outside of Gabriel. Gets a cross in. But it's gone behind for a goal kick. Suddenly there, the slip from Zinchenko almost presented Chelsea with an opportunity there. Zinchenko just slips over on halfway. And Chelsea had a player over briefly there. It was Azpilicueta. He got past Gabriel, but his cross there wasn't very good at all. It's gone behind for a goal kick. As the rain is pouring back down again. Zinchenko, in fact, is going off. It's his return to the side. He's played 77 minutes. He's done okay today, Zinchenko. It's going to be Kieran Tierney replacing him, of course. Tierney must be frustrated in his lack of opportunities, really, in the Premier League, certainly. And Chelsea are making a sub as well. Mason Mount is going off, and Kovacic coming on for them. Pulisic coming on for them, the American Christian Pulisic for Chelsea. So they've made another change in their front three, and Kovacic is on as well. I'm not sure who's gone off for Kovacic, actually. I didn't see that particular substitution there. So Chelsea have made another 3 changes. They've made all their 5 now. We've got 12 minutes to play. Arsenal just made that 1 substitution. We've lost the ball now in midfield. Are Chelsea going to be invigorated by these subs? Loftus-Cheek's gone off. Mount's gone off as well for Pulisic and Kovacic, as Chelsea look to try to get an equaliser here. It is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. That ball played forward up that far side, looking for Gabriel Jesus, who's done well. And then he's fouled by Pulisic, the substitute who's just come on. He did well there, Gabriel Jesus, got round Thiago Silva, and then, he was kind of pushed in the back, wasn't he? I think there's not much doubt about that. But it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side, only about, 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. It's going to be a long ball now. Ben White picked up a yellow card for time wasting. Oh, there's a shouts of handball there from the Arsenal fans as that ball was played into the box. There's Cucurella, it was, but nothing's given. And now Chelsea looking to come forward themselves. The tackle there from Gabriel, and the referee's given a free kick. Steve says there, bring us forward on with fresh legs. We need 1 more goal. Yeah, we do, but I've got a feeling Rob Holding might be the next one to come on. I mean, I don't know if it did touch his arm. He was outside the penalty anyway, actually. You've seen the replay of it there, Cucurella. I think it maybe did hit his arm, but he was outside the area. It wouldn't have been a penalty, but anyway, nothing's been given. It just sort of, the ball bounced up a bit awkwardly as he was moving, as he was turning. In fact, I'm checking it actually, but I do think it's outside the area anyway. Well, it is outside the penalty area, so it would only be a free kick at the bit. It did hit his arm, there's no doubt about it. But it's not going to be anything other than a free kick to Chelsea around about the centre circle, or just outside the centre circle. We're into the last 10 minutes now at Stamford Bridge. The weather is so bad that actually, although it was a 12 o'clock kickoff, it's actually very dark and the floodlights are on, which is a bit strange. It almost looks like an evening game, in the sort of early part of the season. Or the ball played over the top. Raheem Sterling's in behind, inside the penalty. He plays it across the box. Is this going to be a goal for Chelsea? Oh, good defending. That was actually there from Ben White. Came across and got there. But that was I think it was just onside Sterling as well, actually, on this near side. Whips the ball across the penalty area. And Ben White was across there. But it was a throw to Chelsea. Sterling again in possession now. Finds Azpilicueta. He's crossed towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Thomas Partey heads it away, but it's going to be another throw to Chelsea. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on our goal now in these last 10 minutes or so. In fact, Chelsea have got forward now. Cross comes in towards the near post, all the way across the 6-yard box. Again, it's defended not pretty convincingly in the end, but we've managed to just about get it away. It was Gabriel, I think it was, and now Martinelli can bring the ball forward up this near side for Arsenal. And Arsenal won a throw. Was it Saliba there with that initial clearance there from that cross from Gallagher? It was William Saliba just managed to get there. In the wet conditions, the ball's going to fly off the surface. It's quite difficult to defend, isn't it? But Saliba did well there. Anyway, Kieran Tierney with his throw. We're now 8 minutes away from what would be a really impressive Arsenal victory. Would be Chelsea's first home defeat of the season, actually. But they're coming forward again with Sterling on this near side. Good defending from Kieran Tierney, but Chelsea do keep possession, and then Martinelli boots the ball away. It's going to be a throw to Chelsea on this near side. Arsenal struggling to get out of their own half now. We may well have to be. It's going to be a backs to the wall kind of defensive performance now, isn't it, from Arsenal? I think that's what we're going to see. Let's have a look at this throw, but Arsenal pick it up actually with Thomas Partey. Good play from him, and he finds Martinelli. Does he know he doesn't? Because Chelsea get the ball back with Trevor Chalabar, and in fact, they won a corner, Chelsea. The crowd are up for it now. It came off Thomas Partey, Chalabar's clearance. And from nothing almost, Chelsea have got a corner. We're into the last 7 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. That goal from Gabriel, it was an Arsenal corner that led to that. This is going to be a Chelsea corner. Conor Gallagher with it, the substitute for Chelsea. Arsenal need to defend this set piece. As we move into the last 7 minutes, a cross comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed out by Arsenal to the edge of the box to Cucurella. Shots deflected. Arsenal scramble it clear again. But that was another moment there, a little nervy moment at the back there for Arsenal. But we managed to defend it pretty well. Now Mendy goes long for Chelsea deep into the Arsenal half. It's headed out by Granit Xhaka, I think it was, it was William Saliba. And now it's back with Mendy again. 83.5 minutes played here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. Is this going to be a really big victory? Arsenal going to go back to the top of the table tonight, and it would be a massive victory, this as well. And you'd have to say it's probably been deserved. I think Arsenal overall have been a better team. It's been a good away performance, lacking the fluidity of some of our performances this season. But away from home in these games, you've got to find a way to win, and we've played well at times, and we're coming forward again. Is this going to be the moment for Jesus? Plays the ball to the far post, looking for the run of Saka, but he's not going to get there. And it's run behind for a goal kick to Chelsea. 6 minutes to play here at Stamford Bridge. There'll be a little bit of stoppage time. There was that hold up, wasn't there, midway through this half, due to some incident in the crowd. So we'll have a little bit of stoppage time, but there's 6 minutes of normal time remaining here at Stamford Bridge in what's going to be potentially, anyway, a really big statement victory for Arsenal. Kieran Tierney bringing the ball forward now for Arsenal. Twisting and turning, he's getting clear down his left-hand side. He's pulled back there by Conor Gallagher. It's going to be a free kick and potentially a yellow card for Gallagher as well. In fact, it is a yellow card. A lot of yellow cards in this game. Kieran Tierney very positive there. He had his shirt pulled. This one didn't rip, actually. A little bit of a stronger shirt than the one he had on the other night for that Europa League game, where his shirt ripped. But Conor Gallagher's got booked. It's a free kick to Arsenal on this near side. An opportunity for Arsenal to maybe get this in. It's in line with the edge of the penalty area, just about 10 yards in from the touchline. Can Arsenal get a second goal now? That would surely finish it 5 minutes from time. That would be the killer goal in this game, you would imagine. Martin Odegaard with this free kick. Is this going to be the moment for Arsenal to get a second goal to seal the victory? It's in towards the near post. It's headed out, though. Only as far as Kieran Tierney has it back into the penalty area, but Mendy's going to just grab that nice and comfortably and then rolls the ball out to this near side, and Chelsea trying to come forward now with Raheem Sterling. This is good from Chelsea. A ball over the top, actually. Broja's in. Is he onside? Good defending again from Saliba, and then the flag goes up. He was offside. He looked as though he probably was, but Saliba came across anyway. Saliba's been brilliant today. He'll definitely be a contender for man of the match, I would have thought. He was offside, Broja there. Didn't quite time his run right. But look at that pace from Saliba. Got across there. And in fact, it's El Neni coming on for Arsenal. Odegaard's going off again. The captain tends to go off a lot, doesn't he? Every game near enough. He's been okay today, Odegaard, hasn't he? I wouldn't say he's been outstanding. He's done a good job. And he's now going off for these last 4 minutes. Malmo held on, and he's coming on just to maybe shore things up a little bit. A slightly more defensively minded player, isn't he? Mohamed El Neni. And he's now going to come on. It's a free kick to Arsenal, which Aaron Ramsdale's going to take about 25 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. Very, very close now to what would be a really big victory for Arsenal, wouldn't it? But there's still a bit of work to do, a bit of defensive work to do. That ball over the top there again, looking for Broja. William Saliba's there again, plays it back to Aaron Ramsdale. Gets it back again at Saliba. And now plays it square to Gabriel, and out the line to Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney plays it forward. Can also get a second goal now, which would really seal it. Gabriel Jesus' ball forward. There's cut out, but it only falls to Kieran Tierney again. Now it's Gabriel Jesus. Plays it square to Thomas Partey. Pings the ball into Mohamed El Neni. Actually, he's quite high up the pitch. Granit Xhaka plays out to that far side to Bukayo Saka. Can we get the second goal now? That really would seal it, wouldn't it? Saka into the box, but it's cleared away by Jorginho, but only as far as Ben White puts a cross back in again, but Mendy's there. We're on into the last 2.5 minutes of normal time. It is still Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. That goal from Gabriel midway through this second half looks as though it may well prove to be the winner. But Arsenal still got a little bit of time now to defend and hold on to this lead. Can we get the 3 points? A big 3 points it will be as well if we do. One now played into Kovacic, plays it up that far side to Pulisic. It's not really been in this game much, has it? They've got a lot of itches in their team, haven't they? Conor Gallagher there plays it back to Mendy. And Mendy goes long. Comfortable for Arsenal, that though. We'll deal with that all day long. Cucurella now on that far side, plays it up the line. Gets it back again, Cucurella. This is quite good from Chelsea. He's got a little bit of space now. Cucurella plays the ball over the top. They're looking for the run of Sterling. It's going to fall here to Conor Gallagher on the edge of the box. No, it isn't, because Granit Xhaka's there. Brilliant defending from him. And now Arsenal may be able to launch a counter-attack of their own. Thomas Partey's fouled by Sterling, and Sterling's going to get a yellow card as well. There's been a lot of yellow cards in this game. It hasn't been a particularly physical game, actually, for a London derby, an important London derby. It's been a lot of yellow cards for pullbacks and kind of professional fouls to stop counter-attacks and stuff like that, really. But it's certainly not been a dirty game. But that is a yellow card there for Raheem Sterling. And it's going to be a free kick midway inside the Arsenal half, which Aaron Ramsdale is going to take an opportunity for Arsenal to launch the ball forward. Into the final minute of the 90, there will be a little bit of stoppage time. You would imagine there was that stoppage in play. There hasn't actually been any trainers on the pitch, but we have had that stoppage in play. Arsenal now going for the corner flag with Gabriel, but he hasn't managed to keep the ball. Russ says Saliba will be the best centre-back in the world in a couple of years' time. Well, he's certainly heading that way at the moment, isn't he? He's been brilliant today, has to be said. Arsenal have got a throw on this near side, which Granit Xhaka is going to take by the corner flag. Gives it to Gabriel, but he can't keep it in. In fact, is it going to be a corner? No, it's a goal kick to the frustration of Arsenal. Russ says, good evening, everyone, by the way. Yeah, and yourself, mate. Good evening is a very appropriate phrase today, isn't it, with Unai Emery's return to the Premier League against Manchester United. And it looks it's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, actually, which, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. That delay we had, plus the substitutions and what have you. So Arsenal got 5 minutes to hang on to this lead for what would be a very good victory. You'd imagine that the worst case scenario is now, even if Chelsea score, we're probably going to get a draw, which still wouldn't be a disaster. But when we're this close to the victory, it'd feel like a disaster, wouldn't it? It's a free kick to Arsenal right in front of the Arsenal dugout on this near side, closing in on this victory, which would be a very, very good victory, wouldn't it? One of those statement victories. I know we've said that a lot in various games this season, but this is a big one, isn't it? Because, away from home, this team's needed to show something in a big game, and we've done it today so far. There's still, 4 minutes of stoppage time to play, so we're not quite there yet, but we're very, very close. And to be fair, Chelsea haven't really looked like scoring in this game at all, has to be said. Arsenal coming forward now. Jesus plays the ball back inside to Granit Xhaka. A second goal now would definitely seal it, wouldn't it? Granit Xhaka plays it to Gabriel Jesus. Back to Xhaka again. I don't think we're going to look to try and get the ball in the box now. Granit Xhaka's going to the corner flag. And Chalobah and Xhaka there getting involved when they don't need to, right in front of the Arsenal fans. And Kovacic there has got involved as well. And it's all kicking off in the corner in stoppage time here. Xhaka started that with Chalobah, actually, and Kovacic has got involved. Xhaka is not happy at all. He's being led away by Gabriel Jesus, actually, and he's still not happy at all with what happened there. Thomas Partey is now pulling Xhaka away. A little bit silly from Xhaka, really, in the circumstances here. We're deep into stoppage time with Arsenal 1-0 up, and Michael Oliver is now going to have to get involved because he's the referee and he wants to make a name for himself. I've got a feeling there's going to be some more yellow cards coming out now. I don't quite know what was happening there, really. Chalobah and Xhaka it was initially. Xhaka reacted to Chalobah's push on him, and then Kovacic got involved as well. But I'll be surprised if Xhaka doesn't get a yellow card for any of this. Be very surprised if he doesn't. In fact, I don't think he has. Anyway, I'm not quite sure how you see some of the yellow cards. As expected, William Saliba has been given player of the match, quite rightly so as well. He's been the best player on the pitch by quite some distance, really. And that's one of the reasons why Chelsea haven't had a sniff at our goal, has to be said. Steve says they're not as good as last season, but it's been a crazy season so far. It certainly has been a crazy season so far. Russ says, I don't think it's a statement victory. Chelsea are terrible. Well, I don't think Chelsea are terrible. I think what you've got to remember is Chelsea have just recently got a new manager in. He's learning his team. He's learning about the players. They're going to have an up and down time of it. What did I say? Rob Holding's coming on. Here we go. 3 minutes into stoppage time. We're 1-0 up away from home. It's Rob Holding time. He does this little cameo. It's going to be Martinelli to go off. He worked so hard today, Martinelli. Really good performance from him. I wouldn't say Chelsea are terrible. I do think they've got, when you bring a new manager in, he's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he? And he's still learning about his team. And they haven't played well today. I totally agree. But it is, I think, going away from home in these games and winning these games, it is a massive statement victory. It is. We wasn't able to do it at Manchester United when they were terrible. But we've done it today, and I think it is a statement victory. If we can hold on for this last minute and 10 seconds that remain, it will be a very, very good victory. Steve says there, give you that one, Rich, with Holding. Yeah, I mean, he always comes on. When we're 1-0 up away from home in the last few minutes, he'll always come on, Rob Holding. That kick there from Mendy actually wasn't particularly good up the near side. Chelsea do keep it in, though. The attack keeps going. Broyer's up there, but it's a good header there from Gabriel, and now Thomas Partey's coming forward. We're not exactly hanging on. Chelsea haven't really looked like they're going to score. But anyways, Trevor Chalobah now plays up this near side. Thiago Silva picks it in towards the box as William Saliba up again with the header. In fact, it was an offside anyway. And that may well be that. Steve says there, if we win, it's a great win. That is a very great win if we can hold on for these final, 10 seconds or so that remain of this game. Sterling was offside there, so it's a free kick to Arsenal. We're almost there, but not quite. And we have now almost played the 5 minutes. Ramsdale's taking his time to take this set piece. He does take it now. He goes long to this near side corner. Chelsea do clear away, but not for much longer. Granit Xhaka now in possession. Plays the ball up the line to Jesus. Arsenal just need to keep the ball. Simple as that. But we've lost the ball there. But it may not matter now because we've played over 5 minutes of stoppage time. The ball's played forward. Good header there from Gabriel. And it comes to El Neni. Granit Xhaka now just plays the ball up the line. Comes off Azpilicueta. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. And surely that's going to be it. We've played 5.5 minutes of stoppage time. The final whistle is just seconds away. Xhaka and Jorginho are in a heated discussion. I'm not quite sure what that's about there. Granit Xhaka's pointing towards the stand behind the goal. I'm not quite sure what that is. The throw goes and the full-time whistle's gone. Arsenal have done it. We have won another game away from home, a big win. Gabriel is getting the applause for the goal, but it was William Saliba's performance today that really stood out for Arsenal. He was player of the match. He was brilliant today, and Arsenal have won. John says, hi, Richard. How are you? And everyone in the chat. Yeah, we're good, mate. A good victory for Arsenal. As Steve says there, go Gunners, you beauty, top spot indeed. We're back on top again. John says, sorry, couldn't join you as I'm in work. What a win. Yeah, brilliant win. Fantastic stuff from Arsenal. It has, of course, finished here. 1-0 to the Arsenal. We're back on top of the league. Brilliant stuff. Gabriel with the goal midway through the second half. Very scrappy goal. A bit of a scrappy game, if we're honest, but I thought Arsenal were in control of that game for large periods. I thought we played well without really hitting the heights. But sometimes you go away from home in these sort of games, it's just about winning the game, isn't it? And we managed to do that. And it was a good performance overall. We looked good. We looked solid defensively. Chelsea didn't have too many chances. We got lucky with the goal a little bit, scrappy goal, but, we probably deserved it over the 90 minutes. I felt we were a better team. And we have won the game 1-0, a big statement victory. Another 1-0 to the Arsenal, which we're quite enjoying these at the moment, aren't we? Takes us back to the days of George Graham, and we know what success that was. So yeah, brilliant stuff. So let's see what how it goes now. But we're now one more victory away, aren't we, from being top of the table for the World Cup, which one more league game to come next week away at Wolves. Another tough game, but at this moment in time, I'd fancy us to win it, actually. So let's have a look. So anyway, right, we need to go over to the other stream for the women's game. So we're going to shut this one down. Join us again for the women's game away at Leicester. That's coming up very, very shortly. Thank you all for watching. Please like it before you go. We will see you back on the other stream in about 2 minutes' time. I just need to get that sorted out. So we'll see you very soon. It has finished here. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. John says there, we'll see how patient the Chelsea fans will be. Well, yeah, exactly. Graham Potter's under a bit of pressure, isn't he? They're not playing that well at the minute, but 2 defeats in a row for them. But it's all about the Arsenal. We've won 1-0. Gabriel with a goal. Come on, you Gunners. We'll see you on the women's stream very, very shortly. Thanks for watching, guys. Speak to you very soon. Gabriel Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it.